Okay.
Can you give us a last time on DBZ?
You think so? I think you are too, Miho. I think you are too. Okay.
I believe in Miho.
Last time on
Vem cá, Mio.
Blood and Shackles. I don't know. That isn't how I started. Welcome to session 16 of Blood and Shackles. That's the one.
You have
Last
a way you
time.
start? I haven't
Yeah,
noticed.
I always say welcome at the beginning. Last time, the party, after successfully completing the troll hunt, journeyed back towards Port Perrin, where while Trixil and Rognar did some modifications to his final beast gun, the others prepared for the long journey, finding the trading route inland towards the east. Yeah, so they made some provisions, bought supplies for the journey. I believe that will all be in the Lost Hides inventory, I hope. I'm sure you do that. And yes, you did very other things, mosquito netting, I think, did you at least talk about getting some like sort of antidotes? Yeah, you bought a couple of those, some anti-venom, a large amount of goods and supplies ready for the arduous journey. And then you set off, ready to explore the world. Along the way, you decided, well, the first island we see, we probably deserve a break by now. We've been on the road about a day. You decided to go on it for a little bit of a pit stop, catch up with the locals, see what's happening.
Oh, a good time.
And it probably was a fairly solid idea, as you actually learned a decent amount about the political environment for the nations to the south of you. You learned that there was both like the kind of city-state of Senghor, as well as to the south, the much larger area, I think known as Vidrium nowadays. And yeah, you learned at least that they were very anti-Shackles, or anti-pirates, really. But a lot of people mind the Shackles the pirates and vice versa. But you just basically got the impression that we probably want to not be flying our Jolly Roger if we are going up to near their lands. But yeah, with that in mind, you continue to set sail south, and you had a busy, not busy, I mean, sorry, a quiet few days. It is now, you've been on the water technically from Port Peril just 5 days. And yes, indeed, on this fifth day, as you continue to say, were you basically going? I can put you on Google Maps so you can see. Well, actually, no, you can't see it much on this map. Sorry, I go to the landing page instead. You're basically going just like kind of through those last few islands down here, when you noticed a couple of ships on the horizon, I guess, when you first saw them. And it seemed, at least when you got closer, they were ships engaged in naval battle with one another. And with your telescope out there spied some flags of the ship that seemed to be the one being raided, that seemed to associate it with Senghor in some way, like some color their merchant guilds that they are very famous for. So you decided to see what was going on and decided to help out, it seems, to merchants and have a little fight with some pirates. And the fight went pretty damn smoothly. You, with some excellent piloting from Nate, scoot, went around, pulled up next to the other boat, and jumped into battle. And yeah, quite quickly showed that you were the superior crew. After swiftly taking them down, and after defeating the captain and like the first mate, the others were very eager to surrender and throw down their weapons to you. So you now are surrounded by basically, there was. Well, I guess I can double check exactly, but that map's kind of useless now. There's about three kind of more like deckhand piratey guys on the on like the bigger ship and on the small ship. I guess I can also make this toggleable by you with the navigation in case you want to go back and look back and forth. Yeah, there is three deckhands currently that are on there with their hands up, and there is three or four, maybe four feet, one's tied around the back of the mast, kind of on the mercantile ship. But yeah, right now, they just take it away. It's like they're standing there with their arms up and just waiting for you to tell them it's okay, or if you're going to tell them to jump overboard or whatever the fuck you're going to do. So, yeah. Fire into the mast and sink the ship. Okay. Yep. Alignment shift slightly down. Yeah,
Okay. Oh, I mean, I'll look at Nate and say, see, we are powerful.
Yeah, I can see that. So, what do we now do with this lot? Do we recruit them as crew members? Or...
Don't think.
Wait, have we actually gone Azra's and like freed the ones who are
No,
tied to
no,
the
they're
mast
still,
over
they're
here?
still tied to mass. If you want to go
Oh,
and do that,
I go
well,
do
then,
that.
okay. Sure.
Yeah,
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 you
yeah.
go and start untying them. Yeah, we'll just, if they say anything, we'll do what they critical conversation first.
We should stop thinking about recruiting the most distrustful people. Maybe look elsewhere other than the people we defeat and kill.
Yes, so what else are we gonna do with them? Leave them here?
One close by says we got a little ferry off the back of the ship. We can take that. It's small enough. We can get to land with that, no problem.
Saves us killing them.
No, yeah, save that. That's for sure. Don't want to dirty your knife, right?
Yeah, alright, I
Clean
guess.
my blade.
That's what his
We
beak is
can
for.
let him go.
No. Yeah, you can let us go.
Yeah.
Great.
After a while.
You can let us go now, right? You don't need us anymore.
You'll stay here for a while longer.
Yeah, he's like just me. Alright, so while that guy is shitting himself out there, yeah, you go over and you kind of put them off. You see, there's like 3 people in them unconscious. One of them looks like kind of bloody and kind of like lolling in a state of unconsciousness.
Okay.
There's also, maybe like 5 or something corpses kind of lying around. More like, don't even look like, really more just like simple deckhands. Like they don't even have like weapons on them. And
Yeah.
you see one of the people here, it looks at least to be wearing like finer clothes than the others, and you would imagine would probably be.
Okay. So I look to him as I kind of go down. I'm like,
He's got like a gag.
I'll pull the gag off.
Oh, thank you.
I take it you are the captain?
Indeed, this is my shop. Yes, thank you so much for your help.
Of course. And then I'll, cut him free. And then I'll also call back to
Jesus.
Johnny because there are the unconscious members, not the dead ones, but the unconscious ones, to see if he can help revive them.
Prep mud baths for everyone.
Sure. Yeah, you go over and you start treating some of their wounds.
Can we start to refer to your heels as pocket sand?
No, because it's
Fuck 'em
mud.
up.
Pocket mud.
I know.
Can you call it mud slap like the Pokemon move?
Mud slap, that works. Yep, yeah, that one's possible. Mud slap.
It's like, so as he kind of
That
stands up,
sounds
like
too violent.
stretches a bit, he's like, thank you so much for the help. Who do I owe the pleasure to?
The name is Alter, and this is our crew.
Javier Cortez, pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, please come. I think we have to decide what to do with the pirates.
Very well.
Wait, his
He's
name
like,
is Cortez, but he has a French accent? I'm confused.
Hey, he can be from multiple places.
Sure.
Is this in a French accent? I don't know what accent I'm doing. I was like, Europe. I don't
I'm
know.
doing generic.
his
This is an
mother
accent
was-
that Josh can kind of do.
His mother was Spanish, his father was
Indeed, they was
French.
stuff. Land I come from. I hail from. Strange family.
By the way, what would be the punishment for piracy? in this
Very
land?
much depends where you are performing this piracy. Your knowledge of Senghor, if this person from there, it would be hanging. In the Shackles, no, you're crying. It's kind of just, it's fine. It's basically
It's
up
rewarding.
to,
Piracy?
basically
Is it Tuesday? Come on.
the law would be your choice, but you captured them, so whatever the fuck you want to do, kind of thing. But in civilized countries, it's murder, it's death. Yeah, but he strides on over to see the others. He's like, you don't look so smug now, do you, you bastards? Just kind of talks to the deckhand, the other pirates. They look too scared to say anything. And then he kind of looks towards you, Nate. You were still talking with the one guy. And as he sees the other captain come over, one of the pirates is like, please, we're not going to hurt anyone. Just let us go in the ferry or the dinghy. Sorry, we'll be out of your hair. We'll just go work on another ship.
So, because
To return
You
to a
like
life of piracy.
like to talk a lot, would you show us around the ship first before we let it go?
Sure, yeah, I can do that.
And maybe there are some supplies that we might want to, take for our troubles here.
Sounds a lot like piracy to me.
Well, if they are voluntarily leaving, the ship
Is
is
it really
ours.
piracy if you're pirating a pirate? I don't know.
Yeah, if you can,
just,
as long as you leave us enough water to make it to land, then sure, I don't care. You can take what you want.
There's
Hope
water
for
everywhere.
rain.
I had enough fresh water. Must be.
I mean,
Alright,
we are,
alright.
if we are letting these guys go on a boat, then
Have you,
so
the captain
up
of the other ship
on
was
the
like,
ship,
but why
right?
would you let them go? To simply throw them overboard.
That
I'll
seems
look at
They are
Altair.
pirates. They will just do this to others in the future.
Well, I'm kind of trying to get Altair's. I'll be like, their boss is dead. Second chance?
I mean, to be fair, that one already said that he planned us to join up with another ship. So
A ship, a ship. I mean, there's plenty of solid ships on the waters. You know, I mean, most of my experience in life comes from sailing. I'll just join up with a merchant. You know.
hmm hmm
Mm-hmm.
Seems similar deal as before.
it is, but just as before, this is not our choice. We are not the ones that necessarily that they've killed their comrades and tried to take our ship and our goods. So
I
They
do not
tried.
understand the question. They are murderers, thieves, bandits. Just throw them to the fishes. What is there to discuss?
we are not executioners.
Kind of frowns. Is like, I mean, I was watching it from where I was tied up. You seem quite proficient with your tools of yours.
We are, but we use them wisely, and
Self-defense.
normally in the defense of others or ourselves.
Very well. I'll tell you what. If you leave them with me, I will take them to Sengo, and they will be hanged in a good and proper way.
And that is your right.
but we are not insane.
No, no, no. I will take my ship back there. That is where I'm heading. I can have them on board for a few days. They will not need food for that short a time. The vibe's like, please, we're bad choice. I understand. I made a bad move, but just joined up a ship. You know, I mean, I admit I've done some killing, but everyone does that. I mean, it kind of looks like I don't know where you're from, but I'm from the Shackles. This is just
I'll
it's
point at
life.
him.
It's the way
I'll
of
point
life.
at him,
Yeah.
and I'll be like, "Tell me of your upbringing. Sad life?
Guess it
He wants to hear your
depends.
sob
I
story.
think it's like when I was maybe 7, 8. I was I got work on a ship as a ship's boy, cooking, cleaning, that's like. And I've been on ships ever since. Just go from crew to crew.
Per ship. Bad?
He tries to found, like, you know, I mean, he's probably not that old, but he's probably around, like, you know, late 20s, 30. He's like, I don't know much to be honest. I was always in the kitchen doing the washing up. But I mean, there were people on there who had weapons, but I mean, every ship was armed where I was from.
Not sad enough.
And then my mum got sick. I don't do a little deception.
Yeah, I was gonna say, could I be?
Okay, the
Colin
lie
was
isn't very
playing
good. My mum got sick. Don't know what it was, but I mean, the weeks I was looking after her in the ship, she had bleeding awful. I sad. He like he starts rubbing his eye.
So, by the way, I'm going to
Forcing the
be.
tears out.
I'm not going to be good at this personally. Josh is a terrible conversationist, but
Mhm.
I'm using lie to me
Sure,
against
sure.
them to try to kind of catch them in
Yeah, it's like
contradictions.
so
and
when your mum
things
broke her
for-
leg, and they're like, "Oh yeah, when she broke her leg," and you're like, "She broke her leg, you faggot."
Exactly.
Yeah. He's like, "Oh yeah." So yeah, you get the impression that he is trying to. When he said it at the beginning, he didn't seem to be lying. At least you're lying. When you said for sub story, he seems now to be adding details.
Yeah.
Unforgivable.
He's, sorry, but you wanted a sad story, right?
Wrong story.
No. It's not even the wrong story. You've made some very poor decisions in your life. Whether you were
Yeah.
forced there, you went along with the crew, whatever it was, you should not be free from all forms of justice.
Oh, man, really, it's really mean of you to like tell us to surrender, and then you just say we're gonna kill you anyway. Kind
But
of
we're
like
not going to kill. The difference is again, it's that we are not going to kill you.
He's
we
like,
can't
"Alright,
choose-
a bit of a technicality. I'll be killed for surrendering when I could have gone down fighting.
Still can.
Just kind of like
Yeah,
I'll put
he's
my
like-
hand on my rapier and be like, that could still be arranged.
Alright, fuck it, go at me then. Alright.
So what if we just take those guys on our ship for a little while, till the first little island village we spot, and drop them off there?
Well, look, we've got a dinghy out the back. We can take it ourselves. We don't need to bother you. We don't need to bother anyone.
And then decide what to do with them. Put them in jail or whatever they do.
I mean, again, I think the captain here
Yeah,
is the one who should make that call. They were the ones who were attacked. They were the ones who lost crew.
Look, I would like to pretend to know where you are from and what is custom and rituals and what you do with the murder seeds in your own lands. Where I come from, they would be killed. If you ask what we should do with them, we should kill them. But like I say, you or say me, I do not care too much. They are simple trash.
I mean, if it gets his way, they all get hanged. But the
And
way,
it's not just my way, that is the way of St. Hall, the most righteous place in all these seven seas.
yes, of course. Or
Righteous
maybe we
place.
just take one, the most well-behaved one, and let
Yeah, how many are left
the
again? I
others got
forget.
stronger.
Three left.
Okay.
Why do you want to adopt these guys?
I mean, not adopt, but since the other reasonable thing to do would be to get them hanged in Sango.
Is that the most reasonable thing?
I mean,
The next
what
reason.
else?
It is what the laws of this land would demand. And we are nothing if
Hearts.
not law-abiding citizens.
Yeah, so
I could see it the moment I spied you.
I see it, but it is hard to get a second chance if first chance you die.
Why do
I
they
mean-
deserve
So
a
I
second
don't
chance?
get it.
Again, I will go with whatever you decide. It is fine.
they knew what they were doing, though.
Correct.
But still, why don't we have a little contest here?
Hey, what the sorry?
A little
Oh,
contest.
The contest.
Yeah.
So now
Yeah.
you're gonna make their deaths a sport?
Wait, man,
It
that
is just
doesn't
a
even-
contest or
Of course not,
consciousness?
but that's-
So you say contest, right, Mina?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the captain contest seems to found is like a
Let them.
This is where
Let them. work for
Miha
us for a while.
invents Survivor, only literal Survivor.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
Instead of being voted off the island, you get thrown overboard.
God, you are
Who's in the
cool,
jury?
where you hail from.
I'm just trying to maybe save one of them.
Look,
The
they're like,
most well-behaved one.
But
just,
for what?
just- you can just let us go out on the spare boat. We promise we won't hurt anyone. We'll just go live
I
on
start
this
to go
boat.
below deck. And it's
Yeah,
like
sure.
you all decide.
I mean, I'll look to Johnny and say, what do you think? Second chance or death?
I don't know. I think the best way to do it is to, just do what the people of Bliss do.
I vote second chance, but gonna shrug.
Yeah.
Gonna look away.
Yeah. I wonder how many second chances they have given to other people, though.
I mean, they've
And they might be
Not
on
kill them.
already on their second chance.
I'm gonna narrow my eyes. How many second chances have you had?
They won't tell you.
I think he's like, to be honest with you, I mean, normally in a fight, I've seen many enemy shipmates should be cut down. Normally, people don't get taken to surrender. No one said, this is your final chance to me. I've just,
I'll turn
But you
to the
have
captain
surrendered
of
before.
the Sango
I
ship.
mean, on both sides surrendered. Normally, they don't then say they'll kill you. Often, when I've done it, at least, you're on a ship, you get attacked, you surrender, they plunder your goods, then they kind of let you go. Generally, how the surrendering business works.
And now they surrendered, and you know,
No,
you're
they didn't
in bad.
surrender. They didn't surrender. They were fighting back. We've killed as many we had to for them to then surrender, and that's why we didn't kill the rest. We'd have tied them to the mast. If we were going to kill them, why didn't we kill the captain? How come we let the captain, the other three, live instead of cutting their brains out?
You know, I feel like, you know, it depends on what kind of a ship crew or whatever we want to be, bros. You know, it's like, do we want to, you know, attack other ships perhaps? Then we abide with
Captain
pirate
Cortez
codes.
looks at you. Other ships.
Pirate codes.
Oh wait, his name is Cortez. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Other pirate pirates,
Colonizer.
of course, you know, or
Whoa, it's
or do
different universe.
we just ignore this? You know,
I mean,
Wait,
by the
you
laws
were
of
the
the
of the
cultural
ships? I am confused. Was it
Are they
simply
I'm
pirates?
a...
saying,
Are there
I was-
pirates?
Of a pirates, that is not what you said, but of course I believe.
Just like just
I'm
now,
just
you know.
saying that. I'm just saying the Sanger crew surrendered, and they're still alive, but the pirates surrendered, and you know they'll get hanged for it.
Pirates, though, that's the difference. You know, they are the aggressor, bro.
True, but still.
I
mean,
I decided I do not like killing. I will do it if I must, but rather not. So, in this case, no. Let's let them go.
I mean,
Is
that's
it
the
big
point.
execution
You won't
time?
have to. Yeah, just let them,
yeah, I mean,
let them go.
If I put them in their hands, it is still killing. Just not real blood on my hands.
Fake blood, really.
You know, I've seen you fight, Grixel, and I feel like you're gonna stop.
So, you have gone soft? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
Your
what happens if
fighting
you like
style,
rip the man's throat out? What happened to that guy?
That guy was scared enough.
I do not like that bird side of me.
I'm not even there. I'm back somewhere.
Because like, if you do not wish to do it so simply, why not let the gods decide? Put them on the boats with no food or water, send them off, and see if they live in the land.
Worst
God.
of all worlds, no.
Ah, maybe. Thought you didn't want to do the killing yourself.
Still killing, most likely.
People who can, people who
There's a
are capable
chance
enough
of
to
life.
survive on the sea, you know, they deserve to live on the sea.
I've
Do I
said my
find anything
piece.
down there, by the way?
Yeah, so you find, it's fairly big. There's, a room which is, a galley. There's, a nicer room which is the captain's quarters. You have a look through it. There's some minor sort of, kind of jewelry and stuff. There's also, a piece on him. You can say there's, basically 15 gold worth of, little kind of trinkets and, treasure in, the captain's quarters. But apart from that, the galley has some more fruit up there, smaller amounts. But apart from that, there's a much bigger sort of hold where they have kind of goods, just rope and just kind of normal shipping supplies you would use, similar to what you have. There is another 50 rations, not things. If you want to take more, that would be enough to kind of load them out of here.
You said it's 15
Gold pieces
worth
of kind of treasure, just
Okay,
trinkets and stuff like that. A little bit of silver necklace, a gold ring or two, stuff like that. That is that nice
Putting that
sandy
on the
find.
character sheet, definitely taking that.
Mhm.
I mean-
Piracy.
The last thing I'll say is I look at Nate and I'll say, you are oldest. You've seen most laws and countries. You decide. I am confused. And I'll go back to
How
my
did you
ship.
do this in
Sounds-
your old days?
yeah, exactly.
Which- yeah,
I'm sure it's
Fine,
been
fine,
hard.
fine.
You
The
both
Nate-
have a
Let's
dinghy then?
remember
What's
what
happening?
There
Chelsea
are
did in the
there
past.
are ships, of course, in the past which are brutal. There are famed pirates. If you wouldn't surrender, but they had a reputation of killing everyone, right? But for instance, most pirate ships would, and Shelby, if whether or not you consider a pirate or not, as one of them, would generally, if people surrendered, choose to let them live, because generally it was kind of accepted that it's piracy was such a big business that it's a good chance one day you'll be the other end of the knife, and it just kind of was almost like a silent agreement that if someone completely surrendered like this and gave up especially their ships and their goods, they would normally be allowed to live, simply because on the vice versa way, that is what people wanted to be done to them, kind of thing. Of course, there were people who did the exceptions, but Shelby probably would have, in her time, not just killed all people who take prisoner. But of course, also that's in the Shackles where piracy isn't a crime, so to say. So it's
Yeah.
obviously also different.
Yeah.
You could also say
technically,
technically you are still in the Shackles, you aren't in St. Hall, so it's also like, that's also a thing.
yeah, and we killed the captain, right?
Yes.
Anyway, and the first mate, I
And the
guess.
first page, yeah.
Another one.
The rest are basically like kind of deckhands,
So the-
really trained fighters, but mainly,
Yeah.
just working with crewing the ship.
I think we
But
can let them go.
I
with
take quite a few of the
turn one
rations,
and-
by the way,
Yep, you just take it when you want.
and just bring them to the ship. I just topped us up to 100 because it's easy number to remember.
That's good stuff.
And then I take some others on me, and so when I come back up, basically just look at my backpack. It, have huge
Oh,
things,
yeah,
rations,
you do.
basically.
Yeah.
Take to our ship. And when I come back, I'm like, well, it doesn't seem like you've got any worth the decision.
It
And I,
sounded like
again,
Oh.
I haven't been there officially yet, so I said, what if we, and actually almost say what the other captain said, Barbosa or whatever his name is, like,
Cortez.
what? Yeah, Cortez. If we just send them off, right? We give them the dinghy, send them on their way. The tides are
Yeah.
good to them. They get given a second chance.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
to you, Nate, would be something that would be done in the past, where like they didn't want to like kill people stranded, but they weren't also going to like leave them with a full ship. They would kind of just put them on a boat and be like, see if another boat runs into you, good luck, fuckers, kind of thing. Where
Yeah.
it isn't like.
Yeah.
But of course, like I said, like putting them on a boat here, even without food or water, like you are, less than a day travel to some small islands, right? Where like Cable says we'd be able to go there and kind of live on an island and hopefully get picked up one day, that kind of thing. So it isn't,
Yeah.
it isn't so much a death sentence. If they get unlucky with storms or whatever, of course it could be. But it isn't like you're not in the middle of the Atlantic right now, right? You're in more like the Caribbean between islands, where there is a good chance of like other boats or hospitable islands to find.
And the Sang traders can take the other ship, right? The galley for their trouble, at least.
No, that is
I mean, we can't take it, right? And
Us four? No.
we're not leaving it to the pirates. So
Yeah,
That
either you
depends.
can
That's
take it
those
as
things.
claimage for your losses, or we can sink it.
he kind of shrugs. I mean, if you leave it here, he kind of said it is difficult. I do not know if I have enough crew to. He kind of looks back. Oh, I know I do not have enough left to sail it as well as our own, but kind of shrugs. It's like I risk. We could, of course, leave it here and send word to another one. There is a ship for being reclaimed. We just need to make sure that these ones do not come back for it. But I think perhaps it's safe to sink it. It is not as impressive as the ships of Senghoi anyway.
Okay.
It is a shoddy piece of craftsmanship.
Yeah, so I start to kind of just generally shuffle the three pirates over towards the dinghy, and as I'm doing that, I'm removing like their swords or anything if they had any, right?
They dropped all that shit. They're like,
Yeah, I'm just doing a quick check to see what they have.
Quick
And then
panda.
as they get in there,
they have like they have like kind of like some like not like maybe like a day's worth of ration, like more like snacks that you would use, like bread, like
Yeah.
meat, whatever. If you leave that in them.
yep. Yeah, I
Oh,
act like I don't see it, basically.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Uh,
So
by the way, what was our party name? Some alliteration thing.
The
I can't remember.
Typhoons, something?
Fucking remember.
Tenacious Typhoons?
Tenacious Typhoons.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So by the when we get them all on the ship, and I'm hoping that the captain and them are far enough off, I'm acting like I'm not leaving them with anything. And then as I'm like getting down, I act like I'm going to be checking with them, like, hey, give me that, and I act like I'm pulling a dagger or something right that I found, and I'm actually like putting down like 2 water skins and some rations.
Oh.
the one who you kind of the first week or two kind of like just meets your eye and nods, and he's like, it's not an easy life, but
It does not.
kind of
But-
nods.
And I say this, and I do mean it very seriously. Take this chance. This could have gone 100 different ways, all of them badly for you. I hope that you survive and that you take this as a chance to live a different and better life. Because if you don't, much worse things will come for you. Whether it's me or my party or someone else, you will always end up dead if you continue down this path.
He kind of nods slowly, and he's like, hoping I make it to an island, I won't step foot off dry land again.
Yeah,
Fair enough,
and then
both
like as
correct.
like I turn, I just like drop the dagger back so they at least have like a dagger for
Oh,
survival
wow,
stuff
okay.
on the deck.
Shanks you in the back of that.
He could try.
He
Chance.
does not try. He does
It's
not
like
try.
a fairly dull but like workable
Yeah,
dagger,
exactly.
right? Like
Just like
it's fine.
exactly. Cutthroat,
And
but you
then
probably would want to. Yeah, they
exactly.
they do really like nod serious, like with tanks in their eyes, and kind of quickly
And,
shuffle over to the boat before
Yeah,
anyone
and now
changes
be
their
off with you,
mind.
and may the gods have mercy.
and I'll shout, and remember us and our ship. And if we ever cross paths again, we might not be so merciful.
They're like yes, yes, yes. You know, just frantically kind of nod and like raise a hand and then like almost try
Can
like
I-
half salute, confused with what to do, and then just like start lowering down the boat to the water. Cortez
Can
is
I,
like
sorry, can I advocate for a hero point for Josh?
oh yeah, that's a very good call, very good call. Yes, indeed, Apple. I need to remember. It's good because thanks for reminding me. It's really hard sometimes to remember.
Yeah, of course.
Cortez is like kind of strokes his goatee, which he obviously has, and he's like, "Well, you are very merciful sailors, it seems. Clearly, you are not from Zenhoi yourself. May I ask from which your boat hails?"
So the others are like, I- it'd be a lie to say that we're not from the Shackles. We're not pirates, but we do hail originally from the Shackles, from a very small little place you'd never heard of.
I'll rejoin the
see.
party.
You've all been like chatting for a couple minutes from right now. Roll me a make an impression check out there.
That
Diplomacy.
diplomacy.
Yeah,
I assume. I'm
is
like,
it
I don't think I've ever heard it
public
called
information?
that.
Oh yeah, that's the actual action.
That's the original, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Well,
I think it's
public.
public.
Oh, it's public.
Sweet.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
It's like I see.
Make a
Well,
good
I
impression.
admit, although I hear that there are full of savages and barbarians and pirates and the like, of course it makes sense. There are a few diamonds in the earth. Like, well, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, of course. And I mean, please, the rest of you, introduce yourselves. I would like to know those who I owe my life. Kind of looks
I'm-
at Nate first.
I've already
I'm
introduced
Nate.
myself, so I look to the others.
Exactly. Nate, I see. Strong name.
I am
Johnny.
Crixel.
Johnny and Crixel, indeed. And may I ask, if you are indeed from the Shackles, you are almost at the border of your strange and dangerous land. Are you traveling for yourself? That seemed to be where your ship was heading.
Yes, we are
You're
explorers.
correct.
You are explorers. Ah, I see. Some in my past have ignorantly titled themselves. Well, where do you explore? The ocean's far, far to the south. There is not much to see, is what I've heard.
Can I look guiltily at the others? Cannot say.
It's
So we heard as well.
technically, Anthusis would be a big enough place that people would have heard of, right?
So, what place?
Anthusis or Anthusis? It's in Vidrian, like it's a big one of the
Oh, it's,
capitals.
yeah. Sorry.
Underworld
Because
map.
it's because I think technically what it's called now in the world is actually not that name anymore. I think that's what it was
Oh,
called
okay.
when it was like.
Gotcha.
It's
So
like,
whatever
oh,
that's
like-
called
Rebranded?
now.
Exactly.
Is it just Vidrian?
Rebranded. No, like now the name of it is actually
So
called.
I think we would have
Elder.
gotten that from before, right?
Wait, is it? Wait, am I going crazy?
I don't know.
Settlements. No, there's. Oh no, so there's the Gar, which is the. Okay, so Gar stopped to existing like 6 years ago and now called Vidrian. That's what Vidrian is, and Vidrian and Susius is what it's called. It was formerly called Elida. So sorry, I would have been stuff I
Ah.
called Elida because I was looking at one stuff. So you're right, it is called Ansusius. But he's like, you call it by the proper name. Let's see.
We tried to keep up on current events.
He's like, but sorry, did you say that was where you were heading? So I kind of missed out why you were. Oh, okay. I see. You are. Oh, it is quite fun, but not. You kind of chuckled. I would not say visiting Ansus is really exploring, so to say, but.
Well, that's just the first stop. I mean, eventually we'll probably head in towards. We have some business towards the Moingi expense.
I see. Well, exploring the jungles is indeed one of the true bits of adventure left in this land. Well, I wish you good luck then. Are you planning to go straight there?
Well, we might stop here or there on a few islands just to restock, but otherwise, yes.
Well, if you wish to
Might
sail
be
with us to
detected.
Senhor, that is our next destination. It is roughly in your direction, and I admit I would not be amiss to having an escort for the journey, remainder of the journey. The oceans are normally quite safe, at least once you are out of the region of the Shackles, but you will never know, as they say.
Our ship faster than it looks, but maybe still slower.
I think they're the kind of more bulbous.
Their
part.
one would
Yeah.
certainly be slower. Especially you
Yeah.
have like a magic iron that gives you like pretty significant bursts of speed. Like you basically go from like 30 feet to 50 feet. Like they
Okay,
probably
that's-
like you're probably like maybe not twice as fast, but you're
Close.
probably faster. You would guess like Nate from looking at the ships as like a veteran.
I thought bigger means faster.
Normally more town means slower, however.
Yeah, your ship
It
quite
is
fast.
it's not
So-
that's
On from the landing page or the world map, where are we now, and where is he saying that they're traveling to that we could
you're
escort them?
basically
Basically,
here right now.
Yep.
This is like kind of the bottom of the Shackles. I guess you can put on like names for Jacko if you would want doing that. You're the ship, right?
Yep.
What's it called? Not Sentinel. What am I talking about?
Sensual.
Oh yeah, Sentinel. Sentinel. Sorry, Sentinel is sticks out down here, so it's actually very like kind of much in your.
I do need a spell check, though.
really a long way. That would be a lot slower for us to go there.
You would escorting them would like I mean right now I think you're going. I mean you can. I always think of like
We'd
right now you go at
basically
50
be,
speed. They go like 20. You
adding,
go
a
yeah.
third slower.
Yeah, you go 40 miles. They go 24. So it's like pretty. It's pretty rough. Like right now, like this journey is about 225 miles. So at 40 miles, it takes about 5.5 days. For them, it takes like 10 days. So it's
Yeah.
really
Oh.
almost like
So I'll
Yeah.
kind of just like lean over to Nate and be like, I mean, we could at least escort them out of the shackles. Once we're kind of more safer into towards the Fever Sea, we could then go on our way. I don't
They
think we
could,
can travel the whole time with them. It's too slow.
They could hire us for the way back.
They could.
I
I
mean,
don't know if they would.
they are down crew members at the moment, and I think they owe us a fair bit for us saving them. So I don't
They
think
could-
it would slow us too much.
Did find a few goodies down below deck.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind having someone in Sangor with a good opinion of us, because we should probably stop there for a day and try to get more information, and knowing someone might be useful.
Yeah, sure. You are the captain of this ship. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right.
yeah. You've been like discussing it, I guess, while we've been kind of like just freeing the rest of the crew, like chatting them. And when he sees like you're kind of done, he's like, well, have you come to a conclusion? Are you willing to travel with us slightly further?
I was thinking about offering you an escort back to Sangor for a small price, maybe.
He kind of chuckled. I see you are perhaps merchants at heart, like much like myself. He kind of like I admit, previous job didn't go as smoothly as I had hoped, but we have some money we could perhaps still use. Kind of frowns. I believe the voyage should take close to 10 days. If yes, this day is moving on swiftly. I would be willing to pay you kind of 20 gold for the escort there. If you, of course, are willing to put such a fine hand in any battle that may ensue as you have done here.
Of course. And that sounds reasonable. Yeah. I
Very
mean,
well. Then it is a deal, and he kind of offers a hand to shake.
I shake the hand.
Still like unless you brother. No, I just. And he's like, great. I do need to talk to my crew and make sure they're all in one piece, and then I am ready to be off. Did we wish to sink the ship?
Yeah. While you do that, we
Yeah.
will make preparations to sink the ship.
Excellent.
Is your carpenter still alive? You're a bosun? Otherwise, I can take a look.
Mm. He says yes, he was hiding in below deck. It seemed that they got to him last after we had already surrendered.
Can you point him out?
Yes, he's the one with the hammer-headed belt. He kind of points to.
Oh, point my gun at him.
Turns and
I'll,
shit.
yeah. I'll,
Whoa.
yeah.
Only one.
If he's going to check for damages on the ship during the battle and stuff, I'll try to like follow him to see what he's doing and what he's looking at and stuff. Kind of like shadow.
Okay, like on their ship. Yeah.
On
It
their
seems
ship, yeah.
there were like actual siege weapons and anything. They basically checking where like the ships bang together and there's like maybe
Revealing
like
and
shoring
stuff,
up
yeah.
some of the surfaces and they're like cracking and there's some like water leaking in. He tries to chat with you a little bit. He's like, "Oh, you the repairman of your boat?"
We have not had any damage yet, but
No.
in case, probably somebody should. Yes. So, trying.
Oh, well, generally you want to look here. He kind of points to the wall. You see there's water leaking in it? It's a death of all boats, that is.
Yes, sink swiftly. It will.
Indeed. So, yeah, just patch on that bad boy. Patch up that bad boy. Leave it like
Oh. I will like pull out my weird flash gun and I'll be like, made this, and then I'll point my gun at the hole and try to cover up the hole like temporarily, see if it works at all, like by like shooting like concealment at it.
You try to shoot concealment at it. Like the special slowing one. Like
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so like takes a shot. He's like no, but you kind of full tree, and it does like damage it. And there's like a crack of wood, and like you start to see water. But like before any water can get in, the kind of flesh sort of like overgrows it and almost like seals the hole with this horrible sort of flesh. So it created the hole, but it almost sealed it again.
Yeah. Okay.
He's like-
It's probably not gonna hold. I'll be like, I thought that would go.
Give me that plank of wood. She kind of runs over with like a nail. And he's like,
Oh yeah. No, if he's freaking out, I'll start freaking out. I'll try. I'll start helping him.
Yeah, he's freaking out, yeah. And then as he's sitting there, he's like, "What were you playing?" You said, "Oh, shit."
Did not think of damage of
Holes
bullets.
in my ship.
Like, "Oh, flying your head is a good thing to in our lives." And he's like, "Bloody hell." All right.
Don't sound, Captain.
Ground, you kind of heard like a gunshot from below,
Right.
Like, and Cortez is like, "What was that?" And then he kind of is like, "Quick, go check the okay." As by the time someone runs down, you're like already finishing up the job, and it's like,
Okay.
he's the other guy's like, "Oh, this guy just swung the hammer way too hard. Forget about that.
Believe it.
Not
Thank you.
selling you out completely.
Thank you.
Like you shut the
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
ship.
Mm.
Alrighty. While that's happening, I think I'll probably take Nate and Johnny and figure out how the fuck do we sink this ship. And also
Yeah.
maybe like I don't think I checked the like captain's quarters of the ship.
Oh, you did. That was where you found like the
Okay.
the little
The
trinkets and
sorted
stuff.
goods.
There
Gotcha.
were also like some papers and stuff there. Like I mean, there's like a desk, right? So there is more if you want to like check it like a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, you find one thing that's interesting. It's a letter written in common. It seemed like it was like a kind of in the first drawer. Like there was an ace on it desk, but it was like as soon as you open it, you kind of saw it. So it looks like
Right.
probably read or at least looked at semi recently. And it seems to me as you like kind of scan over it, it's basically notes from somebody. There's no name detailing this ship and like kind of describing the flags, like the one of Cortez's ship, like describing the flag it would be flying and like today's date and like say they should be in this area during like this time. It's like and then it doesn't say why. It just says like basically a small note just saying like this ship, this date looks like this.
Right. So someone sold this ship out as a potential hit, whether that was
Okay.
someone on their
Yeah.
side, pirate finding out, or whatever. But yeah.
It's very much like it's very much to the point. This ship, this time, this place. No details of like where it's from or anything.
I do take that back up above as we're finalizing the steps of how do you sink a ship? I don't even know.
I'm assuming you're basically like. I mean,
You
it's
pull
kind
the
of
plug
hard,
at the bottom, like
Yeah,
the pub, and it
exactly.
sinks.
Like I mean, the video hard part is doing it in such a way, right, where you're not on the ship as it goes down.
Right.
So like, I mean, you know,
luckily, we could probably just like put the whole thing up in flames, and I can shoot a flaming arrow.
yeah,
at it,
exactly. So fuel's not
or
that
in
bad. But, you know,
oil.
I would say, you know, maybe they have like, you know, small amount like gunpowder or whatever, right? If like someone had a gun,
Yeah.
if there's something visible, they
You
might
do
have,
it
like,
down to the
paint
lower
good.
decks of the hull.
Exactly. They have like flammable alcohol and stuff, you know, like down there that
Yep.
you would use for long visits. So you basically
Yeah, I'm sure they
make
had some
sort
oil
of,
left for lanterns.
exactly
and-
for like lamps. So you think it's probably the
Cool.
easiest way to smart like a small fire from like the below deck
Okay.
and just like let it spread. And of course
Gotcha.
you can.
Yeah, so I do that in like a little bit of trail of oil or black powder and oil, like all the way
Classic,
back up,
classic.
so that we can just like light it and then immediately get onto our ship as when we're ready.
Cool. Yeah, so you're basically ready. So you do that. It takes you about 15 minutes or something, about similar to when Gritzel is helping shoot holes in the Cortez.
Shooting practice inside of a ship.
Exactly.
Yeah. So once we're ready, though, I go over to Captain Cortez and be like, "Captain,
Yes, yes.
we were down below prepared, and I did find something that's a little bit troublesome." And I just extend the letter over to him. Found this one, I believe, one of the drawers of the captain's quarters.
Quickly glances over it. He's like, "Shit, that is." Seems somebody knew we were here. It's like
Yes,
we are
somebody
lucky
told
that
you out.
I am lucky that we completed our job before we came. Even if they had found us, they would have been disappointed. But indeed,
don't-
somebody seems to be working against us, and
Please forgive my prying, but what was your previous job?
I'm afraid, despite how good you have been to me and my crew, I am unable to tell you. I was working for a mission for the Okpara family. I'm not sure how much you know of Senghor, but they
Do I recognize that name at all?
give me society. You were like having, yeah, it's kind of hard, but maybe
Yeah,
you,
I would.
maybe
I
it
would
came
imagine
up
so.
during your discussion with the other people in that town.
Come on, at 20.
Okay. No, unfortunately, you're not familiar with that
Okay.
name. But yeah, when he kind of sees you know the recognition, he's like, they are. I suppose this is not really secret knowledge, and at least maybe it will assuage your intrigue a little bit. They are well known for dealing with movement of quite unusual or magical materials. We had a job with them, and it brought us at least dangerously close to the Shackles, as you call us here, meeting a buyer. But luckily, the transaction was already done before we got attacked. But if they knew who the Okpara family you were trading with, that is a dangerous sign. May I have this?
Of course.
Thank
yours.
you. It will. I will need to talk to my employer. Perhaps we can get some information from it.
Yes. I hope so.
Yeah.
Well, all the preparations are ready.
Indeed, my crew are also ready for action. Well,
Alrighty.
let us
See you on the
take
seas.
this away. Indeed, we will be close behind as far as we can.
Okay.
Cool.
So you
Yeah.
go back to our
You,
ship, light it up.
Mm-hmm.
You do like the arrow, like as a.
I think like
really
it's
far away.
like
No,
I
we have
basically
a
did a
gun
fuse all the
now.
way up, so I actually just like quick strike, light it, and then like
No,
step
sure.
onto our
Don't
ship.
waste an hour,
Way
right?
as
You know?
as it's slowly going down, and then you have like the Michael Bay moment. Where
Yeah.
healing up, and then once
The one that when the
explodes.
explosives down, you know, sure it
I know.
explodes.
Slow mo, different
You
angles.
see like the storm, you know, like
It turns out
termites,
that
whatever.
all of the wood is made of nitroglycerin. I don't know why.
Yeah.
No.
Somehow giants gas
Yeah, yeah.
explosion.
No, yeah, you easily enough make your way towards Sengor. Yeah, like, it is quite a long journey, but due to
Azure, did we ever search the pirate captain and the first mate for what gear they had? I'm sure we would have during that whole time.
check to see if let me check his inventory. Oh, he does have a +1 rapier in his inventory. No one took.
Oh, the game's paused for a
Yeah,
second.
you can have that.
Something.
Yay!
Game's paused,
I technically don't need it,
Wait.
but I mean,
Oh, they're good, I guess.
Let's go, baby.
exactly. I'll throw it on here.
He also had a captain's hat, of course. You know, boy.
Ooh, that's
Everyone's
we
got-
just
everyone's
give, we
got
give
such-
that straight to Nate.
Nate's got that fancy helmet though he got before, you know.
Oh,
They put it on top of the
The
helmet.
hat's off the helmet. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
He put a
yeah.
hat over the helmet. That's fine. That's fine.
Gives you no bonuses besides looking badass.
Looks badass.
That's all it needs
Well-
to do. Why would you need it for anything else?
I know.
By the way, when dealing with the captain, can we say that I demanded 10 gold up front
Oh, yeah, that's fine. He does
Yeah,
want. He
okay.
basically actually assumed you would want a reward up front, but if you ask for 10, he only gives you 10. He's like, oh, of course, 10 more completion. I agree. That's all I'd wait till we do
Yeah.
business. Yeah, that's fine.
Once we get on the ship, well, by the way, and start sailing, I will go up to Altera and say, thank you for your decision.
Hmm.
The
I-
world outside of town is strange, but it's nice to make
It
sense
will
of
only
it,
get stranger.
maybe.
But it did seem wrong for us to either kill them there or just send them to their knowing deaths.
Yes, I
I hope
agree.
I made the right choice. When time will tell. I do think the situation was slightly different than with the young man in that small town, in that they had someone who could watch over him and make sure that he lived up to it. Right? These had already
perhaps.
decided, finalized, they didn't want to give that person the opportunity. So
I think Johnny was right, though. It has to make sense for us, no matter what happens afterwards.
I agree.
Yes. The less necks I stab, the better.
Okay, yeah, so you, indeed, you have that conversation, and then, yeah, you start off on the journey itself to St. Paul. So it does take, basically 10 days, including today, so this is the 11th, and you'll get there on the evening of the 20th. Yeah.
By the way,
so
I don't know why. So I was just looking into the equipment, right, to like add a +1 rapier to the ship's inventory, and I just typed in rapier. There's a thing called a rapier pistol.
Yeah. There's all these
Yeah, it's
kind
like
of,
the combined
there's all
weapons,
these
right?
combination weapons. There's like sword knives and sword guns and everything. It's fucking cool. Yeah.
Oh, I
Rounds
thought
for a
it
rapier
fires
pistol, yeah.
rapiers.
Oh no, it doesn't fire rapiers. I'm afraid.
But it's kind of bullshit. It still uses the same actions to like swap between the modes or whatever. It's I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh,
and like
is it?
combination weapons.
And it's
are
only
like
4 damage too.
yeah,
I
combination
think
weapons are
the only
pretty.
advantage is the runes, right? Like you don't have to swap
Yeah,
runes
rune is a
between
big
them.
one.
Right.
Rune is a big one. I think they do some all other cool shit. There's something where like if they have like a cool critical specialization where like they have like critical fusion saying that a lot of them have a trait where like you get 2 missions and if you shoot then like or if you hit the melee shot you get to discharge the bullet for like a free action or something. So like then you don't need to
Literally,
swap.
Gunblade from Final Fantasy
Yeah,
VII.
exactly. I mean, yeah, the literally weapons go like the gun sword. It's like you know exactly what you do. Yeah, so if the melee one and you hit with the melee thing, you then choose to like shoot them as like part of it. So that's pretty fucking cool. But yes, they're pretty bad. You need to be like the unstable for them. But anyway, yeah. So the 10 days on the water, like it's a long time. You guys have had long trips in the past, but it's slightly nicer now because like at least in the evening sometimes you kind of like anchor near each other and like occasionally like maybe meet up with the other boats and they like tell stories and they tell you a little details about Stentor. Cortez seems very proud of it as a city. Going to go to detail. At least from his opinion, it's like the naval powerhouse. It's like untouched. The pirates wouldn't dare to go close. The harbor walls could stop any attack. Blah blah blah. He's very much a Stentor loyalist. But at least as a couple of different faces, you spend some time learning how to craft out shooting bullets, Crixil from the other guy, and it's at least a slightly more interesting part of the voyage simply because there's other people to converse with.
I think to oppose the stories of like lawful Sangor, I'll spread some stories about Port Peril and it's like utter chaos and they literally have a place called Hell's Harbor and stuff like that.
This is quite the hellhole, it seems. May I ask why you have never decided to leave it before?
It is home, and we need to.
Leave
Your
the
home
nest.
is like this Port Peril and you wish to stay there?
Oh no, I would want to never go there again.
Or at least that seems somewhat sensible.
Yes, maybe we move our home, make nest somewhere else. Never thought of it.
All you need is a sturdy boat beneath your feet, and then your home is wherever you stay.
Sounds like a good life.
A little lonely, I admit, sometimes. Oh, good life. Oh, I see it. Often people do not see it that way. But indeed, good life, yes. Kind of chuckles. It is a life, nonetheless. A profitable one at times. As you take like another sweep of the, run.
Mm.
And then he's like, well.
What does the Fever Sea look like as we travel it?
So really, this is one of the, I guess, like when you're in the middle, it's one of like the probably times you've been the most open and exposed, just with like ocean all around you. Due to like the Shackles to the north and like Sentinel jutting out to the south, it probably isn't. It's not about anywhere near as like the waters you're sailing up here. So, it's more just monotonous. It is really it's very warm. It's warmer than the ships up here. Here, there was like often
Ooh.
rain. Here, it's quite dry and, just hot. So, depending on your personality or whoever you are, maybe that's a preference. Maybe it's not. But it's a little bit more like just, like walking the desert compared to walking in a normal road. It is a hot sun above for most of the long days and quiet, just like seagulls, your only friend as you kind of sail around the ocean.
Okay, and do we ever like lay anchor for rest, or do we try and keep it going the entire way through?
I think it's more like I don't know. I keep trying to find out how ships work, and they can anchor. So like at night you anchor because you don't have like enough crew to like go through all night, But you don't ever stop for like just really rest. Like whenever the sun's up, you're basically sailing.
I think considering the heat, at like when we're not actively traveling, I'll like dive down in the waters, explore the beneath the waves a little bit. Maybe invite Johnny as well to like accompany me to
Yeah, the
some little
water
treasure
sails-
hunting and stuff.
Some of like the fish, clearly look different than those you've kind of encountered in the north. They're more kind of maybe more tropical here. They already starting to be a bit more brightly colored. There's some nice like kind of coral reefs, in the areas you're able to like find and discover.
Ooh, nice. Okay, wait. I wanna spend some time fishing then if I can. I don't know how
Okay.
long it takes to subsist and stuff, but I just want to use my
Yeah,
bait and tackle.
give me a fishing lore check. Got that right?
I do. For the first time, it's like actually relevant.
Oh man, you guys do lore. That's a public check. I would be there too. Yeah, so yeah, you go down fishing with, Johnny one day, to when you need to get some bait from the sunlight. And yeah, there's like all these like kind of big fish, like big, I don't know what, different kind of fish, like big tuna, I don't know what the fuck, what's a tropical fish? But swordfish,
so yeah, swordfish. You could have like massive skipjack yellow tailed tuna.
What are the
like,
moonfish called?
legitimately 500 to 600 pounds.
Yeah, there's like time where you drag it back up and you have to get Nate to like help you up to the ship. So yeah, you have it's really quite nice, like because at least for Johnny, at least this is like probably one of the few times you're sailing where there's like no sign of land even. It's just like undisturbed ocean like as far as the eye can see.
Beautiful.
It's lovely, right?
Ocean.
If they're Pacific bluefin, by the way, I just looked it up because I couldn't remember. 9.8 feet long and up to 990 pounds.
I mean, maybe that one takes out tricks.
I'm in trouble.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if he's catching out on the fish rod or whatever.
Yeah. I'm hoping the line breaks in that one.
Nearly 500 kilogram fish. Fuck
Yeah.
that. That's a shark.
No, but yeah, when you
That'll drag our little
fish,
boat.
the other crew are very appreciative. They're like, oh my gosh, normally we survive on simple dried meats and vegetables, a few lemons, but this is truly quite tasty, quite extraordinary.
Landlubbers always say, live off the land. Can't let them outdo us. So, live off the sea.
True. That's true. I admit I perhaps am not that expert on the sailor that I am able to track quite yet. But clearly you are well skilled. As you all chow down on 300 pounds of sushi. My gosh.
Just
Yeah,
raw
the only
fish.
thing slightly letting down is your, probably your cooking ability. So you just eat raw, to really make the best use of the fish.
And Nate has
Makes everything
cooking
sashimi.
supplies, right?
That's true. Nate has a lovely boiled fish. That's what you want to get.
Smoke it, maybe?
Fish stew, not too bad.
Alright.
But I mean, simply like grilled, like you just had like a whole fish and grill it over like a little bit of a fire you set up.
Put it on the spit.
Exactly, beautiful. Cool. But yeah, the travel goes smoothly. Probably the two of you being together means, no ship. You do every so often see a ship sailing from Senghor. Or like not I guess not necessarily from it. They're all coming actually from the south. I guess you don't know where they're coming from. But it's basically one of the biggest places down south, and every so often kind of Cortez points out like the ships they are sailing with, they are from the blah blah merchant consortium. Very listen to everyone talk about, but not really
Just the
comparable
name.
to me. The
Blah,
language
blah,
does
blah.
not translate. I do not know it in common. I only know it in the native Kabul.
The name doesn't work in common.
Uh, it is. Because it is a slightly. I don't know how to pronounce it. It is made by clicking in the back of the throat.
Bird's pretty good at that.
Yes, however, not a bird.
Write it down then.
Very well. I mean, like. Alright, I'm like, yes, let me look. Yes, it is called. I don't know why I couldn't pronounce this before. It is called the Bacco family. But it's like Bacco. I cannot pronounce it correctly. Very famous for sugar, coffee, and beer. I admit they are probably carrying more than you can drink in your lifetime.
Do like
Very
beer.
well.
Like a challenge.
Oh, there will be plenty to buy when we get into dark, I can assure you. I will take you out for a few drinks at the very least. Yeah. And on the evening on the 20th of Nef, what a name, you make your way into, and you do indeed see a very impressive harbor wall, actually. One that you think probably could hold back a very large number of pirates. It is
Not even a single random encounter roll.
not even. Well, there's two of you. I was like two ships together. Never ran accounts. There's two ships.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but we are protecting what?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't. It's so easy.
Free protection money. I like it.
Free protection money. No, you make it, and I have a map of Senghor that I will hand to you, and it does have some descriptions on it. But of course, that is fine because he just tells you if you ask him about these places.
We ask him about all the places that are marked.
That one, of course.
And
Do
then
you
more.
see it now? It should be in your handout. You should have something in the journal called map of cities.
Locations.
No, not locations. It should be.
Because I have locations, NPCs, and teleport.
Do you have what
Oh,
about
there we go.
now?
Map of cities.
Now
Yeah.
I have
And
it.
then if you open that, you see Senghor. It's like one.
Wait, but why is map of cities not in locations? That seems pretty.
Whatever. There you go.
That seems to be a
Yeah, but now I
location
see
based.
Sengor. Okay, so if I click on it, well, I see it there, but I can't click on it.
You can't click that to make it bigger.
Oh.
Yeah, you should be able to.
Cities.
You see it, right?
Yeah.
I had it open in the background. That's why I
I
couldn't
see.
open it.
Yeah. So,
Hey.
so it is a really impressive, like high walled. I kind of wait. I have this art. I can kind of. Gonna...
This is definitely not naturally forming, by the way. I'm just saying it now.
No. It's there. It's really like They do not even pretend it is like a. Wait,
It's
I'm
an
gonna show
archipelago?
you- No, they build it. It's huge bit of construction work.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
wait,
can build
I'm
an
gonna make
archipelago, right?
locations. I'm gonna add in as a scene. Add page. Senghor Harbor. Now, obviously, it would be crazy to say ahead of time. What if you didn't want to go to Senghor? It's crazy not doing a module. To choose map. Senghor scene. Select file. Save entry.
Yeah, you get artificial archipelagos are a thing.
Yeah, it's this one. You should now in scene to see Senghor Harbor.
In scenes. Wait,
Where-
It's also in the
scenes?
locations folder.
Oh. I don't see scenes. I see locations, NPCs.
Oh,
we
wait,
don't have
you
a scenes tab, right? So.
Oh, you
Yeah.
never got this one.
Oh, there we go. Oh,
You now just see the tomb, ruins,
yeah,
Arch of Aradin, and Senghor Harbor, right?
yeah.
I still don't see. Is
Yeah.
it in the same? So it's in the journal, right?
Yes, in
Yeah,
journal,
in
there should be
locations.
one called scenes, like a folder called scenes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now I see it. Got it.
Yeah, and there should be
Yep.
3 things in there right now.
Yeah. Well,
The
4.
ships have like little
Tunes,
helmets.
Arch of Aradin, Koru River, and.
No, you
Senghor
shouldn't
Harbor.
see that. You can see the code before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Oh wait, what if I do this now? No, you can't, right?
Now I can't.
Gonzo.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. You never saw that.
Shouldn't have
Uh,
said it. Damn it.
But
We had it.
this
we had
is
some insight.
this is Senghor Harbor. So you kind of see from the picture, the boats you see coming in and out are really fucking impressive. Like, I mean, they're kind of crazy what you can see from these pictures.
Yeah.
As you kind of like sail up, he says, "You see the ship design that we have here in Sengal?
have, like, a
Impossible to be
turtle
attacked.
shell?
Impossible to.
Hmm.
Indeed, very smart, very smart. We actually, I mean, you say turtle shell. We actually call these. Let me see. The cook pots is at least the naming to them right here. Indeed, they are very good, very difficult to attack from with bows, arrows, and the like, and indeed protect you from the rain.
Do
Nice
people
way
ever
of
try?
I imagine that they would be quite heavy and slow the ship down quite a bit, though.
Indeed, these are for mainly the what's it called? This is
Defense.
exactly. I can show. Wait, do I have this cool picture here? Can I get this one without taking off some of the page and with information on it? I hate it when they put it inside the page in the PDF, so I cannot cut it out accurately.
Oh, you should
Well,
be able to
those
share
pillars are-
That's
only
why
the
you need
picture.
No, no. I mean, I'm looking now as a PDF for the Wangi
Snipping
Expanse, where I was
tool.
taking pictures from.
yeah,
Okay.
snipping tool.
Yeah, but the point is they do it in such. Whatever. I'll just say this one. It's like
Snipping tool and then paint. Just
yeah. It's just the way they've done it is like they have the words like
over the top
around
of the picture.
basically. So if I do a
yeah.
square, but whatever, I'll just put it anyway. And then location city, add page, Sangor.
Just try to do your best to
He-
do a
he kind of-
non-phallic looking.
He kind of
blur.
points and he says, "We call these ones the hook pipe, a special pirate hunting vessel, actually." So you'll be sure that if any other pirates were too near to us as here, then we will send this out of them like that.
Still
there should
loading,
be-
I think. Oh, yeah, there we go.
I kind of lean into Kirk, so I'm like, I imagine you'd boil yourself alive in there in the hot seas.
These ones, and you can kind of see as you get closer, you can't see too detail from the map, but like on a lot of like the ones at the front, especially like sticking out that the sails are tied to, is like razor sharp. You know, well, not maybe
Yeah.
sharp, but sharp blades. And he's like, you see here, if we catch a ship like that, it's very easy to cut their sails and they cannot go anywhere. And no, they look fun.
Smart
They look
engineering.
fun. It's like they have a lot of sails, and you also see on the side that like lost space with like rowing to also be done at the same time.
And you only defend, never attack?
I think he said that they send them out for like hunt pirates sometimes.
I mean, yes, and if anyone goes in our water, we keep our oceans free of piracy, I guess. Depending on what you will attack, depends on where you think our ocean ends.
And was last attack on city?
Kind of frowns at these. But,
And then the hook pike, huh?
I mean, when
Any- Any lizards? Raiding?
I mean, he's like, and he's lizards. So
Lizard
did
folk?
you say lizard folk? No. We have some lizard folk who have been, I guess, who are inhabitants of the city. Not many, but no, we do not get any lizard folk, so to say, attacking us. It's like in terms of when we were last attacked, no one has ever, at least not in my day, tried to attack the harbor itself. Before we have had to defend Sargava from the south against some of the Shackles pirates, to be honest. But I think that they say there are easier pickings than us around, so we have been able to keep ourselves safe.
Hmm.
But please, he's saying this, and you're basically like going into the harbor, and he's like, come join me for a drink at the port's nest. You will love it there. Even if you cannot stay long, a simple night will not hurt.
Drinks we know.
Oh.
Yes.
By the way, are there any harbor fees here in the Sangor harbor?
For visiting ships normally, but if I say you are doing business with me, I am a respected merchant of the past, and there will be no problems. But I believe normally there is a
Yeah, that's
minor
not
fee
bad.
for a tourist tax, so to say. It depends what business you are doing here. But for now, do not worry.
Okay,
We should
thank you.
move on swiftly, but one night, possible.
And night will not hurt you, I am sure. So please. And yeah, he kind of takes you through like the bustling streets. Yeah, it's certainly nice to hear with the Port Farewell. It is.
I'm thinking
Am I correct in the image that we have right for actual single harbor? The things behind the ship, that's the fucking wall, isn't it?
That's the
It
wall,
goes-
just like going around the whole way. So
Jesus
it's
Christ.
huge. Like when you're like, if anyone attacked, it's like he's like, no, I don't think anyone's dead, kind of thing. You know, like it's
Yeah.
it's.
I'm
Well,
thinking
are
like the
those
Numenor from Rings of
cannons, like-
Power.
On
Wait,
the
what?
side of the wall, right? Because it looks like we have like the edge of the wall, right?
Oh yeah, like in the wall, like the 3 vertical.
Yeah, like there's
cannons.
3
Yeah,
giant
they're like
cannons.
cannons. Yeah, they're like yeah, they're siege weapons.
So if a ship sails in, you from both sides.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, basically. You would need to like almost take over the walls before you could really put ships
Yeah.
into the harbor.
That's fun.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive bit of work. But yeah, he kind of leads you through the
Port Royal.
streets. I don't know if I've played the music before. Yeah, indeed, and it's bustling, but clearly, like, you know, less shady as fuck as Port Barrow. It seems a lot more. Did you see as you kind of walk through like this? You kind of takes you as part through shipyards, especially like, you know, after you have some questions about like shipbuilding before Quicksilver, it kind of show you.
Mm-hmm.
And the dockyards of Sengo are very impressive. Like, it's kind of those of you who don't know a little bit about it, who like kind of research before, know that they are kind of famous for like their engineering, both in terms of the harbor walls, but also because of, like their unique ship design. So, in case you're curious, as he talks through it from a mechanical point of view, you know, even though the town itself is settlement 8, you can buy multiple vehicles up to level 13 if you like spend enough time kind of looking around and speaking with shipbuilders.
And
So
would
you
it
can-
also be possible from a mechanical point of view to like get access to vehicle mechanic here?
Yeah, if you want to spend some time, and probably like spend some time at the shipyards, and you know maybe try and inquire about like an internship or apprenticeship with working with some ships. You
Okay.
would imagine this to be a very good place to learn.
How much time do you think it would take for me to like take the dedication at least?
Yeah, take the dedication. I would say I will do it based on how well you would do on like crafting checks, basically see how well your progression. I mean, realistically, to like actually learn how to like it would be at least like 2 weeks, even if you go like well.
Okay.
But it is, I mean, you have to learn, right? But it
Yeah.
would certainly be possible. And they like, you know, if you pose interest, like what's his name, the guy on the ship? I don't know a name for him. I don't know, Maximilian, whatever. He kind of says that if you are serious in the
guy?
future about exactly, if you're serious in the future about wanting to learn, then make sure to seek him out, and he will put you in contact with an instructor.
I'll think about it.
And yeah. Cool. But otherwise, yeah, you walk through the streets and eventually you make it to this place called the Port's Nest. It's quite a lovely I think it's quite a lovely inn. It's a bustling inn, at least near the main docks. It's got a lot of trophies on the wall, all they seem at least be like flying predators, like different sort of drakes you may see on the waters, or like griffins or stuff like that. It's all kind of, they almost have like names on them for like maybe like patrons. It seems to be implied, like, you know, were the ones who hunted them. So like, you know, there's a lot of wild sort of
killed
carvings.
lion thing.
Yeah, you killed the river drake before, or the ocean drake or whatever.
Yeah.
You were heading. Yeah. But I don't
Oh,
think you
didn't keep
have
that
I'm
hand.
afraid. No. You kept the gullet, I think, for making a potential beacon. At least Mongolia did. But yeah, it seemed like a very sort of busy business. A lot of different foreigners in seated. Well, you see like different sort of recruitment location for captains, almost like, you know, seeing where like in pirate movies, where like at the table and they have all the people lined up and like asking questions. See how the modern pirates can be. But and the drinks, very interesting for you guys. There's a lot of more like meringue focused drinks, which maybe you've not been familiar with. There's standard sort of rums and palm wines, but it goes even to be like more interesting, like fermented milk drinks that are quite interesting, like spiced fruit liquors, which are like kind of fermented. And then like kind of all have like on the bar menu have like very sort of like obscure and long titles and names, as if, you know, like they're from definitely different languages. And yeah, it's
I got a little slush on the spiced fruit drinks.
yeah, the spiced liquors are
With
particularly
what
fine.
money?
Oh, Captain Cortez
Oh.
does indeed say he would buy you a few rounds at the very least.
Okay.
But he is happy.
The most
to,
expensive thing in the world.
Yeah,
I see. I now recognize what type of person Crixel is. Got it.
Nah, I don't even know what
Are
money is.
there any traditional Shackles drinks?
You wouldn't want to
Watery
get that
beer?
sandwich, by the way.
Wow,
Seriously.
Yeah, I mean,
Beer.
grog and the simple ones. There's, you know, more just like, you know, Bud Light for, you know, the discerning Shackles people, and it's yeah.
It's
There's
just all the American stuff. Yeah.
audio. Yeah, Footbelt is just Texas. No, there is certainly drinks. They seem here that they're more focused on like drinks from the Mugs on the dance, but of course they still
Surely
have
they're
a
more
selection.
progressive in Texas.
Probably, right? Probably. Yeah, there is a wonderful selection, and yeah, you have quite a pleasant evening, I hope, as you.
I'll keep my eyes out for some lizard folk.
Okay, yeah, you're here. Yeah, you're spending the night. After like a couple of hours, you're gonna, go around.
I
You
use
maybe
that
go on the
language
way.
sometime.
Exactly, you're going back from like if you just went to the washroom or something, and as you're like heading back, you see at like one of the lines of like people going to look like they're recruiting for work. You do indeed see an Uruxi kind of standing in line. They look
Do
like
they have a
sorry.
Do they have a weapon?
Yeah,
Like on the side?
not doesn't seem super impressive, covered in boots or anything. But they look like they're just like a sailor type, probably just simple work on a boat. They have like kind of cutlass at their belt, and it's like wearing like leather armor basically.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do like a that bird thing where, as I'm walking past, my head says like the same, like looking at him, like staring at him.
Oh,
So
okay.
even if I walk past him, like almost like an owl. And then yeah, I'll walk back. I'll just yeah, don't say anything to him. I'll walk to our table and be like, "It is true. There are lizards here, living with weapons, and people don't care."
But there's kind of looks at you like, why is this a surprise? I'm sorry, they do not have lizard folk. Where you come from?
No, we do, but they tend to be a little more tribal and aggressive. They actually send raiding parties down and take out some small areas within the Shackles.
Live amongst themselves and attack anyone else.
Seems a slightly I do not know, nationalistic way to view your own country. And some would say humans are also quite violent and tribalistic.
Never disagree.
But no, here at least, I am surprised. They do not have any in the larger cities where you hail.
Do not remember any. Maybe.
Not in the shackles, but out there in the wilderness, maybe. No.
I see, well, times perhaps are different here. No, here they are accepted like any other. I admit they are certainly unusual, but you see some of the folks that come here are even stranger.
Good to know it is possible.
It does make sense, and it's good to know that they don't all fall into that group.
No, I would not even begin to assume so. You must be careful. If you travel deeper into Nwangi, there are people who will be much stranger.
Not all scaly scum. Yes.
Oh,
Look forward to it.
so
Indeed, I would not call them that to their faces at the very least.
things are going so well here in Sangor. Also, your ship was targeted. I mean, the the
I
last-
admit we were taking a slight part of a risk. Often we try not to go too close to the shackles, but often I admit it is simply enough to be flying the flags of Sangor to deter most pirates. I am surprised these ones were so persistent, but perhaps they knew more than most.
but it seemed someone was looking for your ship specifically.
Indeed,
And
it seems so.
Knew about. Do you
Yes.
think maybe someone in Sangor could have passed the information
I
along?
admit that is what I fear. We do not have contact with many others. It was either the buyer or the seller. Those are the two in the transaction. And the buyer, I'm unsure. I believe they have worked with my employer for many years. But perhaps there's someone in our organization who is a mortal, so to say. Regardless, I'm sure we will find out.
I mean,
This
do these things happen often, or
They attacks on the single boats, you mean?
yeah,
mean-
but and specific ships being targeted?
No, that is very strange. I do not believe there were sometimes more large-scale battles between the pirate captains of the Shackles and our ships. Sometimes it is hard to, there are fights over which part of the ocean really belongs to whom. But attack on individual boats, especially one that looked as mundane as ours, I am surprised they were willing to risk the Arafo cycle for such a thing. So I believe they knew more than they should have. But my
This-
employer will find out. She is a sorceress, and not one you want you to trifle with.
Is this
Good,
secret
but
treasure you bartered for? Is it shiny?
It was treasure we were selling actually, and I admit I am a careful servant of my employer, and I did not actually look in the crate that we were being tasked with delivering.
On a sense mode of that.
No, yeah, give me a perception check.
See if he's just covering his ass or if he's telling the truth.
Well, he seems legit.
Hmm.
But he also has a very smooth.
I'll try once more. Not even one peek? On many days?
And he gives you a look. He's like, I mean, of course I could not do such a thing to my employer. No man could. I mean, it was hard to resist, of course, but at least it would not be something that I would ever dream of doing. He kind of gives you a wink.
Alright then, keep your secrets.
He chuckles. There are many strange things we sell. If you wish to see them someone firsthand, you should be a buyer yourself.
I collect, like open my codes to reveal some of the shitty treasures.
So, perhaps for now, you deal with one of these smaller families, to be quite frank.
Sentimental value, mostly.
Then yes, then they should not be traded away.
I will say to the others, if our travel continues, it would be bad if our ship takes damage we cannot repair. A hole,
Aye.
anything like that. This place could help us. I could learn how to fix while on the road or on the seas. It would
So,
take time.
yeah, so how long do you think it would take?
Ooh,
Depends on how
wait,
fast
I really-
bird brain.
There'd be another option that Maximilian actually would offer you, I realized. If you kind of, if you chatted with him and he was kind of talking about you, like, when he mentioned it would be several weeks, you kind of looked a little bit
Yeah.
like, that's a bit too long. He suggested if the need was really great and you wanted to learn fast, what you could do is basically hire a tutor to live with you on the boat, at least until you basically made it to, like, Antsusis, if you were, like, planning to stop there. And basically they would then, like, get off at that point, but they didn't want to go further. He admits it would be expensive to have someone to stay with you for that long. But it would be an
I'm
option
thinking,
if
like,
you were really desperate.
Way more gold than I have. Like, what's the
I don't know how much
ballpark?
gold you have.
I have
Would
eight
surprise you to hear is 0.
Yeah, sorry, what?
8 big shiny coins.
No, okay. He was if you're intrigued of how much, he would say it'd be about 10 gold piece a day. So it is expensive.
A day.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
yeah.
like to hire someone to like
Yeah.
travel with you and teach you to do it.
Yeah, quite far as well. Dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like for sure. He's like, this is like someone we don't need to do it for a lot of money. He just like as an option if you really didn't want to stay for long.
I'll say.
So if we say yes, we pay him for 1 day, and then we basically just take him captive.
Wow! Holy shit! He's gonna teach trips out to be the worst mechanic you've ever seen.
Yeah.
He's like, yes, you should be done more. Keep shooting.
But maybe that will save his life.
Maybe.
But
Oh, by the way,
yeah. So basically,
I'll put the gold that we get from
Oh yeah, you get
Cortez
that
on my
gold,
character
yeah.
sheet, just because I don't know if anyone else did.
Yeah, Nate, did you take the 10 gold?
Oh, yeah, I took the 10.
Okay, so maybe the other
You,
10 now.
so you did put it on your character sheet?
The
Yeah.
original 10.
Okay, cool.
I mean, I can take it off and
No.
you'll be our.
I just wanted to make sure it was accounted for
after-
somewhere.
Yeah.
so what if you
No,
Nate?
there's 20
Nate should take the
total, yeah.
first 10, and then Alter take the
I'll
second.
put
10.
the other 10 on mine.
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So
but I'll say
it's
like
amazing, yeah.
depends on Berberine. Week, probably too.
Much as I agree that it would be valuable, I felt that we already have kind of delayed to do the escort and everything else.
Strange city, as well.
Very. And while
No offense.
Captain
City Cortez.
Cortez
Yeah,
has
it's okay. You are from
been
a
more than
little-
friendly to us and hospitable, We are not true outcasts, but if everyone knew our origin, they may not have the same.
Yeah,
Understanding.
We wouldn't want to overstay our welcome here.
I see.
Maybe on the way back.
If we still have ship, yes.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Sure.
Yeah, a little rejected during the mid-drink, but yeah, Grix understands.
Thanks, Sundays. Okay, cool. So yeah, you have a pleasant evening in the Portsnest, trying all the different beverages they have in their strange lands. You of course see like a gambling table where, everyone's playing the dice game. So what are you saying, Nate?
We also want to ask about basically the way towards Antuzis at least.
Okay. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. When you talk, you probably also could be talking with Cortez a bit about that on the way as well. He's basically at least the impression you get. I'm not going to up him talking, but is that the route itself seems pretty safe. Like it's much more heavily. It's quite a lot of trade happens between Ansusis and Senhor. Like right now they're basically like in an alliance almost against the Shackles, at least kind of. Also against Cheliax and just against the northern countries who wish to plunder Vidrium. And so there's a lot of trade that goes between the two of them. It basically, in terms of the dangers, while there are, of course, dangers on the oceans from, like strange creatures and, occasionally underwater attackers, in general, it seems the dangers do not lie from other pirates. But it seems that at least in terms of that, there is very little to be seen. And the route itself isn't the most stormy and hazardous when you're like kind of going around the outside here. And then once you kind of get from here and then going straight to and Susis, it's very clear.
Nice little holiday destination in this bay.
Exactly. I will say, of course, like for those of you talking or like planning the when you talk about the trip, maybe he asks a bit more about your journey. He does ask, he's like, I mean, Susis isn't that close to the river inland. Are you sure you wish to go there? There is, perhaps you do not know it. It is a smaller town, but Port Freedom is located right at the delta of the Korea River.
Oh,
Port Freedom.
oh, that's useful.
Does that unlike one of these like
Yes,
factory
it's the top one here.
top one? Okay.
It's like it is it's only a town compared to the capital, but still maybe 3,000 inhabitants total. Plenty enough to supply and set on for a longer journey.
Good name as well.
I think that's an excellent idea.
Yes,
We
most
did
of
that
these ships are unable to go there. The sandbanks make the waters quite shallow, but I believe yours is a low enough draft that it should be able to dock without much problems.
We'll make Kirks go on the diet as well.
I see, indeed. He was weighing it down quite a bit.
Bird bones, I am light.
Got those
Nate's
like bird
accusingly-
wings, the bird bones are hollow.
That was why the joke. It's
No,
the
I
person who
see,
needed
I
it the
see, I
least.
see.
And we him
Yeah,
are different.
just my recommendation.
I think that's an excellent idea. Thank you.
Oh, of course, of course. Cool.
Do we do you
If we
need
had any
explaining
money, I'd
to
love
your
see
boss
what kind of shit
what
they had
happened?
here, but
He's like, oh, I mean, I have worked with him for a long time. He will not think I am lying. Anyway, we did not lose anything valuable. I believe I
Think
can.
on the lives
minus
losses
some
of-
sailors' lives.
Yeah.
I don't say that out loud, just thinking.
Values in the eye of all. He's like, I mean, honestly, the tripping, like, he hasn't been that upset about, it. Maybe it could
Yeah.
have been worse, but it's like also
True.
like, it's a tough life. But he is, of course, the first day he was, kind of gave them like a burial over the side of the boat and all, everything.
That
But
sounds like it.
he says, no, I believe I can talk with Disney myself. She will understand. I believe she may not even be surprised. She sees much. But I admit, if you ever meet yourself, or if you find yourself back in Sengo and I am coincidentally still here, feel free to call me out. I'd be happy to at least buy you another evening's worth of drinks after what you did for me.
Small odds, two travelers, same time. But yes,
The gods will decide.
maybe expedition will be fruitful, and we will buy you drinks.
I mean, I would never say no to that. I am a businessman after all. Cool. Yeah, and you have a pleasant evening with him, having a bit more civilization. I guess in the morning you set off once again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, unless anything else anyone to do in Singapore, you bid farewell to the city and continue your journey on. And you have Port Peril as your new sites.
Yeah.
For Pearl? No.
Sorry,
Uh,
not Port Peril.
Port
Port
Freedom.
Freedom. What a much better name. So you travel 40 miles a day, and it is 140, so it's 2 days and a half. So you will 3 days and a half. Yes. So you'll get there on the 24th. Around
40
about,
with the
Yes.
the cloud as well? Yeah.
By the way, can we heal up basically the back?
Oh yeah, sorry, of course, yes. Of course.
Yeah,
Johnny has
I will
sorted you
collect.
out, I'm sure. So 3 days and some hours later, boom, boom, and now you can be back to Canada all by yourself. And it's been so much longer without any incomes. Who gets the D4?
By the way, I'm curious, Tom, what is Johnny doing during the journey and stuff? Like, what do you usually spend your days doing?
You're muted, Tom.
You're muted.
I'm looking out to the sea, doing the sights. And like, yeah, I do any kind of like, I guess rope stuff as well.
Yeah, I mean, like, you guys often do have, like, crew the actual ship, right? Like, the ship does need a crew. So, you are quite busy for some of the days. During the evenings, do you, like, do you sleep in the water, like, when you put down anchor? Or do you, like, kind of just chill there and then head inside? But, like, I assume, like, in a glow deck, you have, like, hammocks and stuff set up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I would want a hammock close to like one of the windows, so I can see out on the sea.
Something like that.
You want to... There were no portals in your boat, I'm sorry that you said.
No.
There's no glass, and you don't have glass in your shitty old boat.
Okay, I'll put it on the.
So there's definitely some seawater that comes like at the bottom of the ship, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Like, you know, every day you maybe like get a bucket and just take like, you know, a little bit that seeps in through the walls.
Yeah, so it's basically as like, you know, usually you would just immediately like get that out. But like I leave myself a little
Okay, you let the ship sink a little bit.
area. I'm just like, yeah, let's see what.
Okay, so you have like a jacuzzi at the bottom of the ship where there's a pool of salt water you like say.
Nice.
Beautiful. Cool. Nice. Okay, and a 13. Okay, something. You do notice something, at the very least, to you, of course. On the, let's go to 2.5 days. When you are about here, maybe a day, 2 days into your trip, you see, out there, a barrel. Kind of, the water here is quite calm, and you're sailing fairly close to the coast, of course, to, you know, simply be, you know, away from the most of the danger of the ocean. And you see basically just like a barrel, like quite a large one, just kind of like bobbing in the water.
It's Luffy.
Do you do anything out there, or do you just kind of ignore it?
Sorry, I missed that.
Yeah, on the second day, kind of when you're about here, you're kind of going over like the horn of this kind of area, whatever you call it in nautical terms. You see basically like a barrel, just kind of like bobbing in the water, like quite a big one.
Yeah, I definitely called down. Something's in the water ahead.
What?
I got my gun out.
I don't exactly know.
A ship? Is it a ship? I don't
Doesn't
see a
look
ship.
ship-like, right?
No, it's just a barrel, like kind of like a barrel you would have filled with like, you know, like rum or anything like that, just like on a ship there's like a ton of the mine. So maybe
Well,
just
see,
like a barrel that's like gone overboard or something and it's kind of like
Oh,
bobbing
okay,
in the
okay,
water.
okay.
Once he points in the direction, can we see it as well, or is he hallucinating?
Oh yeah, if you kind of go to the boat, like he knows it first, but he's like got the spy glasses looking around. As you kind of looking at it in more detail, indeed, it looks to be just like
Turns out it's a red barrel.
a normal sort of barrel, with like the metal sort of
TNT.
thing around it, like like it's just a classical barrel, just like bobbing along in the water.
Okay.
Treasure, perhaps.
That's interesting.
I mean, more likely just debris from another ship, but you never know.
Is it
Yeah,
intact?
wait,
Does this look intact? Or
Oh yeah, it looks like it's intact.
How far away is it, like right now?
Uh,
Because we
Why don't we
still
open
check
it
it
up?
out.
It's a few hundred feet away.
Yeah.
few hundred feet. So we would need to steer towards it, like. close enough
Yeah,
to-
like it's a pretty big ocean, so if you want to like get close enough
Yeah.
to kind of.
Yeah, I'm staying up there and like keeping a really close eye on it with the glass to see if I see anything
Yeah.
untoward
I
going
slow
on.
down the ship and we sail move toward it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just slow down a little
Can
bit.
I, I'll ask for Nate's rope in the meantime.
Yeah, I mean, there's
rope,
plenty of rope lying around the
Yeah,
ship
okay.
and stuff. You must honestly,
okay.
like, I just assume if you're on the ship, you probably have rope within like arm's reach, like, but, like
Infinite rope.
ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, probably hundreds of feet.
Nice.
Now
Okay.
Sam
Yeah.
is selling it.
Bear in
Oh.
mind, by the way, so right now it's been like almost. By the time you get to Port Freedom, it will be 2 weeks basically since you set off. So to move like 2 weeks worth of.
I did do that. I actually
Oh,
just
you did?
removed
Sweet,
two,
sweet.
Yeah,
Okay, great,
8
thank you.
rations from it.
Oh,
Perfect,
nice.
For that
perfect.
exact reason.
Nice.
Yeah. I'll shout to Johnny. Let's dive in. Tow it. Well, like throw.
Let's go.
Yeah, throw some rope as well, and then we dive into the sea once we get a little closer.
Yeah, okay, so you throw some open, you dive, and then you like kind of tide. It's kind of hard, but it's like a bow, right? So it's like there's not really much. It's like
Are
tide.
there waterborne mimics? Just out of curiosity.
There probably are. I mean,
Yeah, I'm
barrels
thinking
must
if
have
it's
some
tied
way, right, to be
around-
transported. Yeah, it was like you have to move barrels
Few
all the time,
times.
right? So it must have like a way to like tie a rope to it. Yeah, for sure.
Usually, yeah, there's like hooks
Yeah,
along
some
the
hooks or
sides
something.
or things like that.
I'm sure there's
Like,
some
or
way
at least
for
like
you
some
to,
some rings you can tie into.
some way for you to tie the boat to it. Yeah, and it is tied up to the boat now.
It doesn't eat him.
Does not eat it as you start
That's
tying the
good,
rope
okay.
around it.
Just in case I'm gonna knock at on the barrel, see if I get a response from anything inside.
Are there
Roll a
any,
perception check.
there any signs on the barrel? Any signal for
No. Okay. Yeah, so you knock on like a thump on the side of it, and you very faintly hear a voice from inside. Where
Oh shit.
What?
You're in water.
I mean,
I won't even respond. I'll climb back up to the ship. Be like, there is someone inside, shouting for water.
Throw it back overboard. It's gonna.
wow.
Well, it's on the water. The wheel,
It's
so
still
put it
in
up
the
with it.
water. You need to like kind of pull it up. You probably
Yeah,
need Nate
yeah,
to help you with that, but it's pretty heavy.
Do we?
Yeah, you start to like pull it up. Yeah, and it's a lot of
Matt, we will
exertion.
have
It's
some
pretty heavy, as if there was somebody inside it. Yeah, but after a few 20 seconds or whatever of heaving, you kind of pull it over the side. Go 3 of you together without Esther kind of like looking down from above over the what do you call this thing on the side of a boat, like the railing? There's a word for it.
The
right?
railing.
Yeah.
Nah, there's a word. You pull it over like the side of the boat.
The netting?
No, like the wooden bit. I don't know. Whatever. You pull it over the
Way?
no, the gun wall. The gunway.
The
or whatever
gun
that is.
wall?
The gun wall. That's what you pull the side of the boat that kind of goes up side.
Ah, I didn't know that.
I need to know the name. Like this. I mean, your boat is a little bit more impressive than this. But did that picture work when I copied and pasted it? No,
The
it
upper
doesn't work. What
edge of
fuck?
the side of a boat or ship? The gunwale?
Yeah, exactly. The upper edge. So like you pull it over like that.
Oh,
Indeed.
okay.
Okay, but on top of that, there's still a railing, right? Or...
Nah, I don't want railing in your fucking boat. There's
Nice.
no railing. Okay, so you pull it over, yeah, and it like kind of rolls
Oh,
around.
by
a
the way,
little
apparently
bit.
there's an alternative spelling called gunnel. Gunnel.
No, I like the gun wheel. Yeah, the upper edge of planking on the side of a boat. I knew that was the name.
Okay,
Right.
anything with the name gun on it.
Yes, you pull it over and it kind of rolls on the deck a little bit.
I kind of stare at it, wait for someone else to
You'll
do it.
stare at it. Nothing happens.
Mm.
So, what kind of voice was it?
Dying.
Yeah, male,
Yeah.
human-ish sounded like.
Human.
So, I mean, I guess we're opening the barrel then.
Okay, yeah, you saw it. You see, it has been like nailed shut in the top.
I'm gonna like shout up to out there. Any more barrels in sea?
Looking around, I don't see anything else.
Give me a perception check.
Okay.
No. Seems like the open is just quiet. You don't see any boats nearby or anything, just the open ocean. You're kind of close enough to land, you can kind of see it on the horizon, but there's nothing you can see on the land either. Yeah, so you kind of you try. You have to almost like smash it open, Nate, as you're like or like
We
you
have
know,
a crowbar.
has to be nailed. Yeah, you can also use a crowbar and try to use that if you want. You can give me an athletics
I'll
check
check
trying
the
to
lid.
force it open. See how quickly you are able to do it. Not too hard. It's just a level.
Public or
Yeah, just a public athletics check. Be fairly simple in your mind. Oh yeah, you just like do it, pop it open, and like all the nails just kind of like pop out in like one smooth moment. And yeah, as the kind of people like kind of huddle over, like out there peering over the side of the crow's nest, you see a very, as of now at least, disheveled man, kind of like almost like curled up, almost like in the fetal position, as it seems that's like they can't. It obviously isn't big enough for like somebody to be comfortably inside.
Comfortably, yeah.
So they are indeed looking a little bit worse for that. They,
Also
look
discerning.
maybe around 30 to 40, if you had to guess. And they kind of blink, like clearly like kind of try to raise a hand to like shield from the strong sun. As they kind of blinking up at you, and they're like, "Water, please, food.
Look at Johnny when he says water.
I'm alive."
yeah, but just a little bit. Give him just a little bit of water.
He gulps it. You kind of stop him from taking too much.
I'm thinking,
He's
yeah.
like,
You choose moderate. Right?
I'm alive. Fuck.
What were you doing in floating in barrel?
It wasn't out of choice. I got a place.
But I'd
in there.
imagine not, considering they nailed you in.
Yeah, they fucking threw me overboard. Nailed me in. Fucking captain.
Who?
Yeah,
Long
he's
story?
He takes another sip of water. I'm my old captain.
Captain.
Did get the name.
Sorry. Oh, where's my AI page? My names. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Here we go.
So we don't.
Captain Fletcher. I don't know if you know him. He's with the Sentinel Navy.
Why would
Shango.
they throw you overboard, bro?
He looks a little like shifty, a little bit. Like I don't know. Like he looks like he's like. It's a bit of a long story. We had a falling out.
A falling out such as that they literally nailed you inside of a barrel and threw you overboard.
I mean,
I think that's a bit of an understatement.
he's a bit of a. I don't know. He's a boss. You know how they are, captains.
Dramatic.
I mean, we have a captain
Dramatic.
here. I don't
That's,
think
that's
he's
the
gonna
word.
keep-
Dramatic.
Yeah.
He's very dramatic, Captain Fletcher. Kind of. Takes another sip
How
of
long
water.
ago did they do this?
Shit, I don't know. He's like, what day is it today?
Did you like sleep with his wife?
It is Neth 24, 47, 23, 1601.
1601.
What year is
the
it?
hour and minute.
Exactly.
He's like, shit,
the
it's
second.
fire day? He's like, fuck, maybe 2 days?
Were you the only one?
So
Not too bad. You tried
He
being in a
most
fucking battle for 2
definitely-
days. My back is killing me.
I'd imagine. Good shout. But I do have
thanks.
some more questions.
Got off the notepad.
It has been 2 days. They left you with no water, no food.
Yeah, he wanted me to die, I reckon.
Yeah, he fully intended. So, to what, may I ask, does the Thinkor Navy consider a death penalty? What
Yes, why waste the
Types
barrel?
of-
It's like you're always trying to laugh and you never, and it turns into a cough. He's like, alright, don't I pissed in its soup.
You what? No.
Look, it's not bad, it's alright. You heard me.
Were you drunk?
No.
So just stupid.
He had been getting on with me for weeks and months, you know what a shit
Now-
captain he was.
This is the important question. I think we have another important question. Did he eat the soup? Or at least taste it?
I mean, it wasn't the first time, but I got caught pissing in it.
Oh my god.
Were you the chef?
Ah, I see. So
Sorry, what?
Did you make the soup?
Yeah, I was the
You cooked in
ship's
the galley?
chef. I was the ship's chef.
Mm.
He kept on every fucking day. This steak should be well done. My fucking god. He
Well,
was
wait,
insufferable.
I'll say
the chef ordered a steak.
No,
well done.
the captain. And then every day he made me cook it to a fucking crisp.
This is the chef, yeah.
This guy's the
But
chef.
I thought I'm saying like the captain ordered you to cook a steak well done,
Every day.
and you didn't just straight up poison him.
Oh, I mean, I was trying. Just for going slow.
But after the first time he ordered well done, why not immediately do that next time?
Oh, I did, and then it wasn't salty enough. And then it needed seasoning. And then we ran out of fucking ketchup. I swear.
Oh god.
So-
this captain, I tell me no more about him because I might kill him myself.
I'm glad
If we
someone
see
was the same
Captain
page.
Fletcher,
Well
we will
done
kill him.
steaks with ketchup. Fuck that guy.
Finally, someone's seeing it my way. Well, the rest of the
What's
ship,
this?
well, the captain didn't see it the same way, and at least he saw that what I did
Oh,
was a little too
Were
much.
you alone in this mission? Or were there more?
I was the only-
it is definitely a little too much.
Was I alone in this mission? Yeah, at least.
Yeah,
it was
That you-
it was only
Anyone-
me.
That you know
Anyone
of?
else eats your soup?
No, I only gave it to him. Of course, I'm not fucked up, man. I just
know.
you really pissed
Only a
me
little
off.
bit.
You know,
All right.
we
So we're
What's the inside equivalent here?
Sense motive.
Inside, sense motive. It's a perception check.
Oh,
You can use blind perception to see.
yeah.
if he's
Can I do
perception.
the lie to me again as well?
Yeah. If he's it's like if it's
It's
always
passive,
like,
right? Like if
yeah, it's
Basically,
like
yeah. 'cause
passive.
It's
Yeah,
it's better.
yeah,
for
but
me
it
to do
seems
that
like
way.
the reason I haven't
Yeah,
said it then Europe is he
okay.
seems at least to like just for fun. You don't like catch him lying or anything.
Right.
And as you like he doesn't seem to be. And as you know, like you try to like get the gist of it, they give me a deception check to see if you think he's like hiding something else or anything. You could also try that. But
yeah.
yeah, you ready? You gonna do that? Cool. No, I mean he seems a little embarrassed by the story, but at least he seems kind of too out of it to really be like lying.
Yeah,
like,
he's
maybe
probably gonna have some
missing
food,
something.
so grab a ration as well, like to go with the.
Shit,
the
thanks.
water.
It's like choose a bit of dry jerky.
Hmm.
Oh man,
So,
it's
We're at a bit of a
dilemma.
dilemma here, in that, well, you're here now. It's not like we're gonna throw you overboard unless you piss in our soup.
We have barrels.
I'm not gonna piss in your soup.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
a
give it-
soup.
But we're also in a bit of a hurry. Where do you need to be dropped off?
Shit, I don't know. If he sees me again, I'm probably screwed.
That's probably a good call. So not back to Sankor.
What's
Where
about
do you-
where we are going?
I don't know where you going.
We're headed down towards Vidrian, potentially Antuthis or Post Freedom, Port
Port.
Freedom. Is that it?
Freedom, yeah.
I guess. Yeah, you drop me off there. I mean, that's a lot better than in the barrel. That's for damn sure.
All right. I mean, that is a couple weeks voyage to where you will be,
Wait,
taking
couple
our
weeks?
hospitality, right? Isn't
Port,
it
Port Freedom's only like 2 days. Port Freedom's right here.
from Sankor?
Yeah.
Oh, for
Yeah,
some
we're
reason I
already
thought it was
here
like
as well. So, oh god.
80, 100
You were like
miles.
here, right? You were here, right?
Oh,
And you go
okay.
40. You go. Wait, why? Oh, I was getting the distances all fucked up. I was doing like
Yeah.
the left click stuff, and it was not like I was looking
Yeah,
at the
so I'm
wrong
like,
number.
that's still 100 and whatever miles.
What the fuck? I was
150
looking at the
miles.
wrong number. It should take you way longer to get it. Oh well.
No.
But this took you actually.
That's what I was
wait.
thinking. I was like, it's at least like 2 full weeks from
Yeah, you're
Sankor
right.
to Port.
You're right.
Port
So
Freedom.
when you took here, this one itself actually took like 6 days. So
Yeah,
not
okay.
the 4 days I said. And you give
Okay.
it 2 more days already. I will just make time go by. Boom, 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 boom. And then it is from here
Wow.
to there is how many miles away? 150. Okay, so now it's about now it's
Yeah.
like actually a bit inland. So now it's about 4 days. Oh yeah, so it's not
Yeah.
that bad. It's like 40 miles. It's like 4 days.
So it's another 4 days where you'll be partaking of our hospitality, and not that we completely mind, but
I mean, I can work if you like. I'm a great chef. Kind of gives you a smile. I would love to, you know.
as
I
long
mean,
as you're
there's
not adding any special ingredients.
don't be crazy. I wouldn't do that as long as you know, as long as I get to choose what I'm cooking. That'd be a fucking change.
I kind of look at Nate
I
and
mean,
say, he normally
you have
cooks.
your choice amongst the limited supplies that we have.
That's better than having to ask him what he wants every damn night.
Sure, let him show what he can do. Then
Sure.
we'll decide if we let him cook the next day. So
You'll be.
Should we let him
impressed,
kind of
don't worry
relax?
about
Have we gotten his name yet, by the way? I just realized.
it. No, if you ask him, he says, it's
What do we call you?
Daniel Cooper.
Not DB Cooper. It's too bad.
Well, it could still be, right?
I haven't told you my
True.
real name yet.
Fair.
And I've got like a handout so you can see what he looks like. There you go.
Chef Cooper.
Chef Cooper.
That's
I imagine someone a bit younger, I think.
What's that?
Because he
in my
was
head, I
pissing in people's soups.
Exactly, like a slightly immature younger dude.
No, I don't know.
I've seen people working
A
at
bit of an
McDonald's
older
that look like
gentleman.
this.
He's up to here. He's had his.
Go-
he's
go
had
to
his
the
shit. Yeah.
Old chef, like annoyed, old line cook,
Yeah.
I don't know
whatever.
if he's
I'm
old.
not saying it
He's
doesn't make
pissing
sense.
it
It's just
up.
I had imagined it as young.
Good
impetuous.
17-year-old at like fucking a fast food restaurant doing it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh no, he seems you know,
Probably more
old, I
a
would say.
well-trained,
Yeah, he looks
good-
like, you know,
good
I mean,
chef who's
yeah.
just like, "Are you fucking kidding me here?"
just
You're making
pissed
this
off one
over
too
and
many
over
times
again."
by the wrong
Exactly.
boss. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe went a little
Makes
crazy
sense.
on the open water, you know.
A little bit.
But
Yeah.
he's very shaky. But you know,
I
as he
mean,
gets
we
out
have
of
to
the
make
bus.
whatever that is because that looks like fucking like, is it pho or ramen? Because that looks amazing.
He's
Ooh,
a big
what?
ramen chef.
We need to keep him.
Like, legitimately.
Wait, I need to check it again.
He can never leave our ship
The
again.
big bowl, it definitely looks a bit like either
Yeah,
kind of a ramen
it's
or
like,
a
there's
pho.
like noodles with like a broth for sure. It looks like,
Yeah.
like at least a brothy kind of chewy.
And I'm so hungry.
He's like, I'll make you some food. Don't you worry about it.
at least
Josh,
he's
not-
not
not-
speaking French yet.
Yeah.
That's good. Good
Okay,
move.
yeah.
We'll show you around the ship where you can sleep and where our kitchen is.
Great, man. I am okay. Yeah, I'm still alive. I mean, someone else at time.
That is our captain. He is old, but nice.
No, that's good. That's good. Anyways, yeah, he still looks a little out of it for like, you know, heat stroke and everything still affecting
Yeah,
him.
I'd imagine. He was literally boiling in a barrel for the
Exactly
last
right.
2 days.
He's
Well,
like,
The smell would be just awful too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, actually,
I
like,
maybe even show him like, and here's where you can get some clean water and wash. yourself
exactly
off."
right. He actually like.
Wink, wink.
He also like he basically like, you know, after like a few minutes he does like basically like, you know, strips just like the person actually the first one goes like the ocean just because, you know, he wasn't actually in any water, so he kind of wash himself at least to get, you know, sweat out of it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, kind of like goes and puts like he actually does ask for it. I don't know if like you guys have like
Spare
one
clothes?
spare chair change clothes like each. I don't know, like for instance, like when you do washing and stuff on the voyage, if you have like, you know, at least one.
That's
spare
just
pair of
that's
those.
just underwear day, man.
Okay, that's just on the way there. Okay, yeah, so he basically. Well,
Look, I've got feathers, who cares?
I don't know if that's true
yeah,
or not.
feathers. No, but I,
I
mean,
think
it's
I
probably-
actually do
yeah.
have an extra pair of clothes on my kid.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow,
I do.
fancy. But he just kind of like, you know, hangs up his sort of like chef's whites, which it's certainly not like. And you know, on like one of the parts of the rigging, he kind of just like, you know, lies down, kind of like barely like, you know, in the shade.
Where'd they go?
It's like, alright, just give me a few minutes. Alright. So yeah, and he's like, would you? I mean, do you have a? Do you want me to cook for you? What do you have? I mean, I don't need to right now, but do you have a?
Yeah, no, again, yeah. It's not
Some
mealtime yet,
bad meat.
but obviously.
It's a small
But
boat.
here's our supplies, and I just kind of show them like the absolutely metric shit ton of like salted dried meats and assorted things that we have here.
It's
things that are gonna
just
carry
salt
for
meats.
weeks.
It's like
Oh.
I mean, onions, potatoes. They don't go off fast. If you store them well, they can also last for months. I mean, they require more preparation, but they really can. Really can be stored well.
I think none of us here. Well, we've all been on ships before. None of us have done necessarily long time where we were in charge of that type of thing.
I would say rations like these are generally best for emergency for saving space and weight. But I mean, if there's only the 4 of you on this ship, you really could make it a bit nicer in here.
I think we'll have to do that.
Yeah, I would recommend.
I'll be
that.
honest. I
Otherwise-
kind of like just have to go to the doctor, like, because this shit's getting real old.
Yeah, if you eat that, I don't know how long you're going for, but judging by how much you have in here, it looks like you could be eating this for weeks or months. The man will go crazy before he dies of hunger.
I do miss fish.
Yeah. Yeah. None of you a good fisherman?
No, we do. We just been in a bit of a hurry.
I see. All right, well, so I'll do what I can with what you got.
Sure.
And he kind of, just he seems like very much like well trained. Like even as he gets in, you kind of show him, he kind of like has a notebook where he kind of takes note of like the different stuff you have, and like the pet, like you maybe have like some perishable items, right? Like lemons and stuff that probably go off. Immediately, it's like you really can't leave these out in the open like this. They're gonna go off much quicker, and he kind of like covers them up and like puts
Does
them
he,
aside.
Does he still have like a cleaver or whatever chefs use? Does he still
No,
have
he had,
any
like,
like?
he had nothing on him. He found
Oh.
even this like scrap of notes or whatever that he's like writing with. It's not like something he.
I'll give him my Tengu Gale blade that I would previously
I think we
use.
probably
Wow.
have, along with the cooking supplies, like slightly better cutlery things you can use. But
Yeah, like a cook set. Probably have
Yeah,
like,
sure,
a
okay.
simple knife with it.
Okay, I'll think about it, but then it's very rusted and
I mean,
and,
I have cookware in my
Exactly. So
backpack.
you have
Yeah.
like a simple knife. He kind of tested the quality of the edge on it. He's like, "You don't have a whetstone around here?" Right.
actually, I might.
Oh, excellent.
Also, I have a hatchet, so we can chop meat with that. Or
Oh yeah, if we could get if we could buy a pig somewhere, you can salt it down, roast it. It can last pretty long. Better than this. at
or
least.
hat bake.
You
I'm
have a
actually going
flint
to see
still,
what
right?
did it say is listed and is included. Oh, there's literally zero description for cookware
Rip.
in the.
So it's anything you can imagine.
cookware.
Anything you can imagine would be.
Yep.
Yeah.
Turns
Oh,
out there's
yeah,
a wok
but he,
and
It
a
seems
Dutch
a little-
oven and
No, he's
Book
like he got
to-
everything. Yeah, he's got a decent amount of supplies. He is, and then he's like, he seems quite adaptable. He seems quite at home quite early. He's like, all right, well, I'll make at least hopefully these as pleasant a few days as I can before we get there.
yeah. By the way, I do.
Mhm.
I'll remove the extra thing of ordinary clothes, and it might be a little tight fitting for him depending on his size. Alter's not a big guy.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little tight, but he just kind of wears the jacket and like just shut it open. You don't sort of like buttoning it. It's,
Yeah. Cool.
Not that difficult.
Taking the extra one off my character sheet then.
Nice. He's like,
Okay, yeah. Once he's like
And before he
out
even
of
gets into that,
earshot.
by the way, I'd probably
Oh.
show him where like we have some like just generally cleaning water, and I have soap and stuff like that, so he can actually get
oh, nice.
truly
So,
cleaned up
wow,
if he'd
that's
like
fancy.
to.
That's fancy. So what do you say, Jacob?
Oh yeah, once he's out of earshot, I'll say to the others, if he is from Sangor, that means he is no pirate, right? So, can trust him.
I think you're putting a little too much stake in the binary fact of someone is or is not a pirate. A pirate alone is
But-
not the only really bad type of person in the world.
But on seas,
But I do agree. I think he seems fairly safe.
no
We
backside.
just watch our food.
It seems like he knows a thing or two about cooking. Just hope
Quite a lot more
Yeah.
than the rest of us.
the pea soup is not his only.
The pizza.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Like it's
Totally different
actually
meaning of a
soup,
spit pea soup. Yeah.
Exactly, the spit pea soup.
0 point for that.
Split.
Do it
Split
for
pea.
natural.
But
You can
yes.
have a hero point, never mind. You'll do it for. Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah, and during the evening, if we're stopping for the night, I will try and catch a nice fish. To
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, give me a fishing check, and I'll give him a little cooking check, and we see how nice a dinner you have.
this wasn't secret, so I could reroll if I needed to.
It's really low fishing. It's a secret. Oh no, it's pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, you not quite the catch you had before, but still a fairly large fish, easily enough to feed the five of you. As you catch it, Cooper's like, "Oh, there we go. That's what I'm talking. Now we can have a real meal." And you see he kind of takes some of the dried fruit you have, like the fruit and like the colors, almost like soaks them in like the fresh water, and kind of makes almost a kind of savory kind of sauce to go with the fish. Let me give him a cooking check. I'll do that probably quite a lot.
It's plus 25.
No, that's crazy. Okay, so it's not the best thing you've ever had probably, but it's pretty damn solid. I mean, considering none of you are training cooking, so if you cook it's like up at 0.
Yeah.
It's it's still almost the best thing you could make kind of thing.
And he's
where,
he's still
yeah.
recovering from death, right?
Yeah, and
So
he's
give
like-
him-
It's still
give him some
better than
slack.
like the fucking
Yeah.
the rations we've been having.
Exactly, a lot better. And he's like, not my best word, I admit. I was really hoping you had some onions, but should still at least be possible.
Onions, garlic, fix all meals.
Indeed, you have been formally trained.
No, I picked up some wisdom from my elders.
Yeah, the old ones always know best anyway. Family recipes always have a certain charm to them. Well, dig in. You kind of like sit all on like the deck, probably it's like you don't get chairs. You kind of sit like cross-legged, on the decking when you eat your meals.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's quite nice.
I'll ask him a little bit about like what his ship would do, if it were just purely a trading ship or if it's.
Oh no, we were in the
exposure.
Navy, so we basically would travel between Ansusis and Senkor, going up north more to near the Shackles sometimes, escorting the larger trade ships, chasing down pirates if we see them, protecting the water sort of thing. Not as exciting as it sounds, to be honest. There aren't too many dangers nowadays.
Did the chef ever need to fight?
I mean, I was never in, I guess, a large fight like that. There was, in my youth, when I worked on smaller boats, there were a few scrapes where I was having to act, I guess, with a hatchet. Or, no, not a hatchet, what do you call it? A cleaver. But, no, in
Dangerous,
recent
might
years, I
lose the hands.
Indeed, that's why I stopped. In recent years, I've stuck to the kitchen. But when I worked on smaller boats, sometimes you had to be more of a jack of all trades. But since I joined the Navy, no, I was always just in the kitchen.
Navy never went into the jungle, right?
No,
Lundy.
no. Ships we sail would never be able to go up those rivers.
Gonna look at the others.
So,
Why? You're not. Are you going in wine?
are you interested?
Kind of. Well, I admit I'm not sure if I really have much of a career in the Navy anymore. And I have heard some of the recipes I've heard from the Wangi expanse are interesting. They have some really interesting delicacies originating from there. I admit I wouldn't be against such a visit. They say travel broadens the kitchen, as they say.
Is
We
that a thing
just
they
came
say?
from Sangor.
Oh, in the kitchens they say that yes, all the time.
We just came from Sangor, and weird city, not likely to return soon. So,
Oh, I
and
mean,
keep you safe.
it's not a bad place, but it is a little not hostile, but closed in to outsiders. Nice. But I mean, where are you from? You're not from there, then I guess. If you say that.
I just kind of like gulp at the question.
Nah, we come from the
Hello.
Shackles.
Oh, he doesn't look surprised, more like angry or anything. He's like, You're far south then.
Correct. A little far from home, but
Small town.
It's not like I can think you're bad people after what you did to save me, so he kind of shrugged. I don't really care about it, to be honest. Unless you hammer me into a barrel.
Good.
we need the barrel.
He kind of looks at you, kind of waits for you to
Definitely,
bake.
there's like a wry smile.
Okay, yeah, when you see that, he's like, yeah. I mean, I saw you don't even have a barrel full of apples.
No, we do not. We do
You
have
like
multiple
shots.
barrels, though. I'll have him know.
Okay, you have plenty of barrels.
Most of them are for like water and other things, but yeah.
But
So,
we
Chuck, I mean,
do not
with-
have much gold yet, so cannot pay.
Kind of shrugs and he's like, I mean, food and lodging at least, right? I'm not gonna have to pay you to stay here.
True.
No.
We charge our crew members of the
Yeah.
village.
Yeah. I mean,
No, we're grandfathered in.
sure.
Yeah, again, if he wasn't doing the cooking, he would have to, because then he's just a passenger.
Exactly.
Yeah, pay with what though?
He
It was
doesn't seem to have much.
a lot of money in
So,
the barrel there.
Pay in
he's
piss.
like, I mean, I don't know if I want to do it long term, but at least, I mean, I've visited to Mwangi. There's some interesting, like I said, some interesting cultures, food in there. I wouldn't say no to it. So,
Alrighty.
Another
That
traveler?
sounds- Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Welcome aboard. Then.
Thanks. Does your load have a name? Like, welcome aboard the something?
The Lost Tides.
Last
Ah.
time.
Lost Tides. I hope. I mean, we'll get too lost. The jungle's a tough, scary place to be lost in. Alright,
We
well, you kind of raised your glass, like, maybe you drink, like, a week out for women, and it's like, I guess, to the Lost Tides.
Drinking our supplies already. Well settled in.
I
What
mean,
a guy.
you can't have fish without a white wine.
you
We'll
can.
have to pick some up in our next stop.
So I'll be getting find us some cheap. Cool. Yeah, and Cooper joins at least for now. And yeah, it is another how many days did I say? 4 days. Yes,
4
until
days.
you make it into Port Freedom. 2, 3, 4. In Oath Day. So from that, almost. No, New Year's in Abadias, of course, or something like that.
It's almost winter, right? Like it's
Yeah, but
the
you're like
river
in
might freeze
you're-
over.
No, you're like in the equator kind of place,
Yeah.
So you're just like in the. It's very unnoticeable, to be honest. It's like more like rainy, dry season rather than like actual normal seasons.
Oh, so we're in the rainy season then, or the dry season?
I don't know. Depends on what.
It's the jungle. It's literally always the rain.
It's a lot of rain. It's like 3 months of the year, maybe when it's drier. Maybe in like the middle, like the summertime, I'll say, like the middle 3 months. But the rest is pretty fucking rainy.
Having lived on an island for like what
Mm.
20-ish months, yeah, that's basically what it is. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
but-
cool. We went from having like 2 blue sky days a month to 0.
Nice.
That's
that
the
sounds
difference.
Sounds like the UK. Let's see how he does. Let's see how he does on some more cooking days. I'm curious if he makes a good impression for you in the first few days, or if you're going to kick him off in Port Freedom.
Yeah. If it gets worse,
Ooh.
he's done.
Oh, okay.
That's a
So
great
second
success.
day,
Good meal.
he's really getting used to it now. How many days?
Oh!
Okay, third day he's like,
again.
I apologize. No, not pizza.
The fish had gone bad.
The fish you got back. You're like, I thought this container was salt, it was sugar, you need to label your supplies. The final day. Hey! Okay,
Oh.
so I mean, you already agreed to take him with, right?
we did. We're regretting the decision maybe a little bit. The last
17
few days.
ain't
So we'll
Even
see
on that too.
how he does after we buy some more supplies and he has
Exactly. To get him, like,
This-
good stuff, yeah.
You need normal supplies. You need normal supplies. But yeah, on the 30th of nephew, or if you make it into Port Freedom, it is, like I said, I don't like him after. This is like a much smaller town. This is just a kind of like almost the entryway to the Mwangi, I guess, in a way. Some people may look at it like.
like
It's
that.
not bad. But yeah, if you spend like a little bit of time in there, I don't know if we need to go over too much detail. It is quite a small port, so aren't very big ships. It's more just like almost like barges actually. To seem to be traveled further inland. You're not sure how far they go, but at least like somewhat along the river. It does however seem to be like a trade focused town as many ports are, and it does have a lot of supplies for sale if there is anything more you want to pick up. And what's it called? Cooper does actually ask if he can have some money to struggle to buy some more fresh food and vegetables to help him out during the travels.
How much would that be? Like,
He kind of
a few
looks at
silver
you,
or
and he's kind of
silver?
like being really up. I mean, to really have a good supply of just simple like onions, stuff like that. 1 gold is enough, he thinks, to keep it provisioned for until the food will go bad, kind of thing. So like he can make good meals for at least like maybe a month or something. Because onions and stuff, if it's stored in like dry conditions, they really do like last a long time. It isn't like
Okay.
it's like
I'm rooting for this guy, so I'll use one of my 8 golds to give him.
Yeah, and someone else will go
Money.
along with it, so he doesn't.
he doesn't
away.
run away without 1
Wait,
gold
if-
piece.
Wait, if he runs,
Yeah,
then fucking let him run, right? If he doesn't want to be here,
This guy is working for free on our boat.
Yeah.
If he runs.
is he our slave or what?
Yeah, I didn't realize. Okay.
Yeah. Kirk's still thinking of him as more of a pet.
Well, I have the right mindset here. It's
How did this
Nate's a fucking freak.
Hey there, little Cooper. How you doing today?
Exactly. Little Cooper. My gosh.
Goddamn cat.
Guys,
You
maniacs.
guys. Okay,
Explains the accident with the peeing and stuff.
but we can probably skip most of it. Did you spend, I guess, the night kind of like docked up in here? But
Yeah.
if you want to do anything during town, you can. Otherwise, it's normal for visitors, at least like traders, to come here. Yours is like a larger boat than most would see, but it's not that unusual. And
Last
able
settlement
to-
before dangers of the river. Perhaps last city friendly.
I mean, people like maybe never say last. There's always some cities in there, even if they're not on the maps. Right? He kind of looks a little shocked at you. No, you didn't do any. Did you do any research of? I don't know if there's much to be done, but
Not many people know about these parts.
We did ask the Pathfinders. They gave us a little bit of insight.
what? You know those guys.
There is a lost city somewhere, made of gold.
And
We
the
kind of
really
know,
old-
right?
Well, it is lost
No,
for
they
a
told
reason.
us a little bit about the area, but yeah, we've had, I would say run-ins, but that makes it sound bad. But more of we just ran into one of their members one time and talked to him a couple different times now.
No, I have a normal running. Sure. Well, I mean, I'm sure it's safe enough.
I mean, it'll be as safe as traveling through any other wild area, which is to say, be on guard.
Yeah, normally I do that with many of people holding the knives between me and them, but I guess you guys are gonna hold the knives.
You hold
mean,
the ban.
We do have
I hold
some
the
knives,
knives,
but
sure, I
if
hold
you
the
don't
knife.
mind, I would prefer my rapier.
It's all a knife to me.
Big knife. But
Big knife.
Says the chef.
just just in case.
He's
we
probably like,
should-
he wants to pick up like 16 different types of knives and.
just in case we should visit
Jeez.
tavern. If it's last one.
Yeah, let's go get the drink.
Wouldn't say no to that. Yeah. You what's it called? You have a final drink in a tavern at Port Freedom. It's a pretty a cheerful place, people seem like they work hard, so they gotta have a good drink at the end of a day's work. And it is it's pleasant. Cooper is he has some like funny stories of like life on a ship. He's he's clearly been on a ship for a long time. Like, well, I mean, Nate's obviously been on one longer, but he has some funny stories about the Navy.
How many include bodily fluids? Out of curiosity,
Less than you would think. Less than you
just
would
want to see if that's
think. More
like
than that one.
certain toads have like the ability to shoot blood out of their eyes as a defense mechanism. Is his just like he gets frustrated and he pisses on
No.
things?
It seemed like he had really been pitched too far, and maybe
What a
just,
sentence.
Yeah, or maybe had a bit too much to drink. So
Combination.
he doesn't really like talking about it. He doesn't really bring it up after like the initial kind of day where he like
Okay,
was forced
fair.
to admit it. But so he
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
just like kind of just. But yeah, it's a little. I mean, it is really kind of bad, right? Like as a chef, like it's like it's kind of fucked. Like you kind of ruining your what's it called? Your
Reputation.
reputation. That's the word.
Yeah. Well, and your
So-
career,
And
considering
your career, indeed.
Now-
yeah, he's got a new
you,
career
you,
as
you,
a.
you look bad. You look bad as a chef and as a sailor.
Yeah,
Right.
it looks pretty bad in general. So he doesn't like bring that up, but you have a nice meal. You have some locals who kind of ask you questions, who kind of bid you luck. They say like, right? I mean, some of the rivers go like a little bit inland, but not many of them go like. I mean, none of them go. I mean, I don't know if you say exactly where you're going, but they basically just say, well, no, not many people go even as far as the Screaming Jungle.
I will ask, yeah, how many ships like try to go that direction at least, like.
Yeah, so it's more like barges and like real ships.
Mhm.
But in terms of that, I mean, they say every so often there are ones from like smaller tribes that sell like wood. You have kind of a few like kind of lumber plantations where you get like high quality, and then most of the ones that kind of do real trade is to a city called Mazzali, which if you are curious and you ask some direction, they kind of roughly say where it is. They say it's like kind of just down here, like on the one that goes a bit more east. So not quite as the one like if you were going to head you directly past, because it is like a bit inland from like not inland, but down the
Mazzali?
upper
Terrible,
mouth
terrible
of the river.
civilization placement. They would have gotten much more bonuses for being like here.
That's all the ruined cities. They call this the Lake of Vanished Armies. We don't go too
Yeah.
close to there. There's like M and Z without an A between it. MZ
Okay.
Alley. So wait, let me divide it.
Oh, right. Like Mali with a Z.
Yeah. Oh. I'm gonna move it a little bit. Wait, are you editing it?
Yeah, yeah. Wait. Why does it keep resetting?
Am I fucking around a bit? Right. Yeah, and it's about there. So it's about like kind of at that kind of like dip down kind of in the water. But yeah, they say like that's like basically one of the only like large cities in in like the actual inner land, at least from obviously at loads if you go up north, around Lake Octura, like in the Asher Central, but in this area of the Marangi, that's one of the largest settlements. So they explain that they have a good amount of trade with that country, or that not that country, that city.
Okay.
Yeah, if you ask any questions, they of course can answer. But
I mean, I just ask
And,
like general questions, right? Of things like, are the native peoples normally friendly? They're really hostile, or are they kind of in between, like on guard against foreigners?
There, I guess, more. It's a weird place. Yeah, it is. At least semi-recently, they were actually attacked by some Cheliaxians, as everywhere is.
Where
as
the
Cheliax used to
fuck
have
did they come
Sagarga.
from?
What the fuck are
They
they
used to
doing
have
here?
Sagarga as like a. Vivian used to be their sort of country to the south, if you remember,
Right.
Sure,
like
yeah.
100 years
Yeah,
ago. But I'm talking about like 50 years ago. But in that time,
okay.
like they sort of pushing more inland, and they kind of went up to the city of Mazzali, which was kind of they have, I guess, I don't know, it's kind of Egyptian, not really. I don't know how to describe it. Like South American, maybe more Aztec-y, I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah.
But they know that
Mayan potentially.
exactly. But when they got attacked by
Maya.
the Chelix overlords, the stories say that the mummified remains of a child who was once buried there became alive and basically is now the god king of Mazzali.
Oh,
Oh,
And it's
that's
like
nice.
still
good.
There's still the rule of it. And as of right now, it's it's as
Going
normal as
well?
it can be for somebody that is owned ruled by a mummified child god.
Okay, that's kind of weird. Yeah, sure.
But that generally they are a little bit like maybe now they're starting to think that maybe they should be a little bit more controlled. So like some of the current traders say they have to be careful because they are starting to act a bit high and mighty, or like believe themselves to be kind of superior, kind of thing. They do have a sharp plot after all, but
So-
they are still at least somewhat civil enough. Like you could visit it without being like attacked or anything. It's just people would be surprised if one day they kind of declare war on Maggie, kind of thing. But until they do that, they're willing trade partners.
That is strange. Yes. Any? What's last time an explorer ship came?
They kind of look a bit confused to explore what, sorry.
The rivers, the jungles, further than Mazali.
Over to Mazalik. The guy talking to you sort of like that. I don't know, to be honest. Past the Screaming Jungle. I mean, if you get up there, the waters get quite difficult for any like real explorers, even for the barges. The water's sometimes a bit too rough.
Look at the others then. Maybe even after this guy is gone, and be like difficult waters for trade route.
Yeah,
Problem?
We expected something like this. If it were easy, then I guess there would be a trade route established already.
But what if our ship can do it, but not bigger ones?
Yeah,
Hey.
Then trade then would use
something like that.
You kind of had that discussion with the guy at the beginning. He basically said that, they didn't expect very large ships, but, if you're doing the valuable equipment from the east, the stuff you pay a
Okay.
big tax from, it's like, this isn't a trade route you would ever use to put labor, foodstuffs,
Yeah,
and
the
that is
possibility
more
was okay, cool.
Exactly, it's more like we're transporting expensive magic items and we don't want Cheliax to see them and pay tax, then we would go, almost like a hidden route through the Marangli.
Okay, yeah, I see.
Yeah,
I see,
just
I see.
small ships. If we can get through that,
I mean, you gotta think, right? If you think of the real stuff that is worth money, it isn't like trade goods. It is fancy runes, armors, magical items, and that kind of stuff. I mean, even in your boat, you could fit, untold numbers of valuables,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly,
Alright,
it's
cool,
all
cool.
perfect for this one. If
Yeah,
we
it's meant to
I
be,
see.
some would say.
But limit on treasure, never good.
Indeed, I think it describes me that my boat's going to be hold about 1,000 bulk of stuff, so eventually you
Useless.
useless. Exactly. But yeah, so you have an evening. You learn a bit about at least one destination which meant to avoid or meant to visit for the interest. Who can say? You know the nice thing about playing an established world? You get to look up random places on the map and learn that they have god kings living in them, and you're like, alright.
Yeah, I saw you reading and be like, it is a.
You're like, oh, alright. It's a mummified child god. Alright, I guess that's town they know about.
No need to visit there.
Yeah.
Well, then for me, it's reading The Punishment of the Seven Angry Sons.
Oh, you don't know about this,
That's an
George.
interesting
You don't know about the punishment of the seven.
I
Yeah.
know Altair does not.
Mm,
And everything sounds great about going to Mazzali. It's like that last effort.
everything sounds great. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. There's going to be punishment of 50 sons by time.
I don't think you'd
are
make
there
it past the
any-
7, just being honest.
I think you make it past the 7.
We also want to ask if there are any known hazards on the way. Like, I don't know.
Okay.
Like ambush.
Yeah, or maybe river. How do you say?
Beasts and stuff.
No, basically places where the river is dangerous to
Natural terrain.
go around.
So like,
Yeah, they in general they say there's they use animals and everything. I'm sure you're used to that. So what do you say?
I was going to say, the dangers of the river itself, like if the most dangerous areas, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
is
this part is probably
area.
at least where they think it starts to get rough and maybe more like kind of rapids, and they're not sure how much up and down vertical there is. But before that, they say honestly, we don't go that far where the rivers are bad. But before then, you have to keep an eye out for there's some pretty fucking big snakes you can see in the tree line, mosquitoes, giant animals, plants that want to kill you. Those damn monkeys really won't shut up. It's very loud. But in general, if you want to, when you get to the lake of Vanished Armies, I don't know if you know that. They kind of, are talking about, that's over there. They say that place is a little, cursed, haunted. Some people say different things. But at least I would go through it as quick as you can. If I was you, I wouldn't spend a night there if you can avoid it. But it's hard to avoid. It's pretty damn big.
Okay.
But you'll be fine. They kind of say we have.
First, how?
Sorry.
First, how? Have you heard anything happen
I
to
think.
people there?
The original story says at least that Cheliast's forces, when they first were here in Vidrian, when they were trying to explore further inland, they sent out a whole squad. I don't know what you call it. I'm not in the Navy. Fleet. I guess I don't know. Up to the lake to try to colonize that area.
I'll look at Cooper to see the right word.
He nods. Fleet's good. Fleet's good. Fleet's good. And he says, I think they were there, and the story goes on the 7th night. The entire, I don't know if they say something, I don't know what, came out from the lake. I don't know if it was a real thing or just a spirit of the lake itself, but took everything, took their tents, took the people who were on the land in the waters. All that were left were boats that were found days, weeks later. At least that's what the story'd say. But speaking kind of troubles, I've been there through that a couple of times and never had any troubles.
Lucky we are from Chalians then, huh? Let's
Better place.
be
Yes.
a mission then.
Yeah, you
Get
see,
teachers
Cooper
to
is
say,
starting
"Kill your
to
ex-sex
regret his maybe decision a little bit. It's a talk of like the weirder places that's come up, and he's
Too
like,
late.
I guess it's only for people from Cheliax. I think the biggest hope of run.
You're with the
Not too
typhoons
scared to
now.
sleep. I don't want to have too many of them and more nightmares.
Early morning. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's go.
What other
Early
items should
morning.
be avoided?
Yeah, I don't know if we
Besides
need
everything
some more
currently.
prep.
You've got a little bit.
Ghost
of
repellents.
Ghost repellent, a classic.
What did he say? We could do a little bit more research?
What's that?
What did he say about like research or whatever?
No, I said you already done. You asked if you do more prep, and I said, you've done some research. I said you had done.
Oh, okay.
That's not like you've done nothing.
We're
You just
good.
gone in. Yeah.
What was the name of the city that the Pathfinder told us about that our buddy
The
was like, "You don't
Lost
check that." I
City.
told him Asabu. Okay,
Awesome.
couldn't remember.
Indeed. Cool. Yeah. So you have a night in the harbor. I guess for maybe sleep on land. At least Cooper decides to do it. He convinces the innkeeper that he'll clean up the dishes if he can have a bed or sleep on for a night. And he's used to working in the kitchens, so he leaves days inside to get some proper bed. And yeah, in the morning you set off. And yes, as you go, you pass through. I'm not gonna do the same kind of stuff. I'm doing the side that we have some encounters along the way, because otherwise I can't do it for everywhere, so we'll just have some every so often. So you kind of hit into that. Then I will say, let's get one. I'm gonna say the first one encounters as you basically you've been traveling into the edge. You've basically gone out of the kind of proper Delta area and have started to pass into, how do I make the thing, into like the actual mouth or do it proper. So maybe let's say on like your third day from now. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so you've been traveling 3 days, and it is right now you do occasionally see like barges. It isn't that common, like traders are so much, but maybe like during a day you see like 1 or 2 kind of barges kind of go down the river, all of them like right now in the direction of Port Freedom. And I guess you saw it before, but I didn't hide it properly. But I have a little bit of art to show you kind of the vibe of like the Koril river to show like roughly what it looks like. So you can see the snow
Let's get
in
over it.
seas.
Yeah. Ooh.
So it's it is a very right now at least
Very
where you
Amazon-y.
are. It's very Amazon-y. Like the weather is nice. It's always eventually like cloudy, like spitting rain every so often. Like you have obviously like dry hours, but it's always at least with thunderclouds and there's not rain clouds at least where you think they could
Is
have
that a skeleton in the bottom right?
And let's not worry about this. The AI does what the AI does. Rude skeletons. It's hard to tell when you're going fast through the water.
Yeah.
It's wide. Every so
Final
often you have
warning.
giant fucking trees that kind of go over the river, and kind of narrows down and widens at points. There's a
Definitely
beautiful
no
cliff,
blood sacrifices have been made in like the caves of that
There's,
island or off the peak or something.
There's
The
no
skeleton
need
is
to
like
worry
a
about
sign of
anything.
don't go further or you will
You
die.
guys are too worried. Always too worried.
I've seen Temple of Doom. Come on.
Well, it's been so long. I think we're gonna watch all the indie movies before the new one comes out.
Yeah, I apparently the new one isn't like that bad or something like
I got like a
last
standing
I checked,
ovation
it's
in
technically-
Cannes, but everything does.
Well, I decided like some of the advanced screenings have
Oh,
it
yeah?
scoring as low on Rotten Tomatoes as the last one.
that. Yeah, alright.
Like a Crystal Skull. Okay.
Alright.
Yeah.
Was it Crystal Skull bad? I don't even remember if I
Yeah,
saw
It wasn't great.
I mean, it's alright. I'm not
Yeah,
expecting
like-
you one to be great though.
Yeah.
Like that.
Like Temple of Doom wasn't
I
that
think I
bad. Crystal Skull was
liked
kind of
it,
bad.
Wait, did you say Temple of Doom wasn't good? Sorry?
That wasn't
It
that
was
bad.
okay.
Temple
But like
Yeah,
Crystal
good,
Skull
not
was
great.
like.
Temple of
worse.
Doom is good. What the fuck? Sorry.
I mean,
I
Temple of
think
Doom is
it's just
pretty good.
When you compare it to Raiders of the Lost
Yeah.
Ark or
Okay, yeah, but it's still
Or Last
fun.
Crusade, yeah.
It's really fun.
Yeah. those two are standouts, like so
Yeah.
far above the others in my
I
opinion.
know. I would give them like 8 out of 10 to give 10, like a 6
Even though
out of 10.
technically Indiana Jones plays basically zero part of importance.
Yeah, and then the
in first
outcome,
movie.
yeah.
The same outcome
quite
happens
funny.
if he doesn't exist.
And which one's made?
Well, they
The
might
very first one.
Yeah.
they might technically not like decide to look, after going through the troll. Yeah, who knows?
Who can say what would have happened? Alright, so you set out, and it's only a couple of days into the travel proper in the Coil River, as it is known, before you have a little encounter. Just because you gotta have a little bit of an encounter, you gotta have a little bit of a fight. As you're going around, you're sailing on through it, and I know I need to put you on the map. When suddenly, you've been dealing with mosquitoes and the like, commonly you have to have the mosquito netting, but it seems like maybe you have caught, maybe you've been, swatting a little bit too many mosquitoes recently, as maybe a big boy mosquito comes to say hello.
Well, I see we're on a map, so I instantly go into stealth mode.
Of course.
Stop holding engage.
No. I checked this actually. You need to be helping crew the ship. I actually checked.
I
It's
know.
1+3. So we can say you're like up in the the crow's nest, like doing kind of working with the rigging and the sails from up there, but you aren't technically doing an exploration action unless you want to slow
Oh.
down the whole ship.
Or if we have Coop do it.
He's busy in the kitchen. He's like, bye, I'm in the kitchen. As soon as these mosquitoes happen, he kind of pops his head out of the hatch and shuts it again. he's like, "Nice." So you can be up in the crow's nest out there, I guess, but you aren't at least.
Damn.
Just was technically you if you try to get him to be like the actual crew member, he could try it, but he does at least do it by default. So
Sure.
and it's double checking. It is indeed right. 1 pilot, 3 crew indeed. So generally you do all need to be helping out.
Okay.
Yeah, I imagine I would. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like constant work, but every so often Nate kind of asks you to pull some rigging, turn something. So it's not really enough where you can be doing like this.
Sure.
So
we
I-
need to find a way for Johnny to summon like
Exactly.
animals or something that can do this for us.
I'm gonna find some safe.
Summoning long term is quite hard.
I know.
You get like an unseen servant to do it, right?
I don't use magic. What are you talking about? Altair knows nothing about this.
I guess Unseen Servants could work. It's level 1 spell. As for.
Okay, Josh, I guess give yourself some height on the map, and everyone can roll themselves into initiative. As indeed, you hear a horrible buzzing coming from the shoreline to your south, as it seems these mosquitoes have had enough of being swatted.
Really sorry if you heard that.
no.
By the way. I actually, punched my mic.
Oh, it didn't get picked up.
There shouldn't be mosquitoes if they don't want to be swatted.
You should roll.
So
These guys will swat you back.
Is this gonna be the One Punch Man mosquito fight?
Wait, I think I've seen that. Where they just get
You haven't
Blood
seen One Punch
splattered.
Man?
Well, it starts with him just like chasing throughout the apartment, just like trying to slap it over.
Why did I even make
and
it?
he
Why did I
keeps
even,
missing it.
why did I even
I
make
haven't
them
seen-
invisible?
I haven't seen season 2.
And then the mosquito lady can literally drain all the blood out of a human.
Shit, what the fuck? I
What did
clicked
you
on-
do?
Does she
And
drain
eventually
Mr. One Punch Man?
Flats her against the wall.
Okay, so I'm guessing no then.
It's really get loud. Shit, I fucking accidentally did the initiative twice, so I got updated.
Oh, this guy.
This
Update.
motherfucker.
This person had a 22.
Which motherfucker?
18. Sorry?
What?
Oh,
What?
What?
No.
What's
I think
happening?
he's saying he's
I don't know.
reacting to what he sees. Am I right?
Who is?
Well, I thought I just heard Jacko say, "Oh, these." Oh, not Jacko. Sorry, Tom say these motherfuckers. And I was like,
You know
"Which
these
ones?"
motherfuckers? How do you know these motherfuckers?
I don't know.
So
They go way
one,
back.
you see one mosquito is fucking huge. The one over here, I got a picture of it. It is like a medium-sized creature. So it's like a mosquito
Ah,
big
what
as a
the
person
fuck?
kind of thing.
That is
And
gross.
instead, and also like almost coming from like, you know, maybe I don't know, mosquitoes live in trees in this world. There is a swarm coming of like normal sized mosquitoes coming both from the south and also from like a little tree from the north. You entered Mosquito Alley.
Johnny, we need you to get used to this fire shit.
Mosquitoes hate water, right?
Mm,
I'll use my
Venom
reaction
or
to
they
draw my
will hate it.
blades.
You use your reaction to draw your weapon. Johnny, however, you are first to act
Why am I the first act?
because you rolled highest.
Yeah. The issues
Do,
of
do,
conflict.
do, 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 do.
You know what? I'll delay.
You roll delay, sweet.
Yeah.
Maybe we can
Out 10.
outrun them.
can we?
Maybe it's a
Very
maybe.
big doubt. Very big doubt on that one.
Most things that have flying speeds are pretty damn fast, so
The ships aren't that fast.
no.
You guys just have
yeah.
no faith in Nate's ability
Yeah, I
to
mean, I'm
sail.
definitely going to jump down. By the way, there's no fucking way I'm facing them up there on my own.
Sure, sure, yeah, they all
with
stand
flying
right at you,
creatures.
you know?
Fuck that.
No, no, okay, yeah, you jump down. You just land any like adjacent square.
Yeah,
You do a cool backflip off the side, I'm sure.
and tuck and roll my way off that. And then I will. Oh, I thought I have to hit enter. Yep. Yeah. We'll draw my rapier and sickle.
Cool, cool, cool.
It says I sheathed it, but I'm just saying that I didn't have that one out.
Yeah, yeah.
It's easier that way. Yeah. And that'll be it for me.
That'll be it. Okay.
Unless I can do any movement along with the drop, because I'm counting that as an action.
No, I'm afraid that is an action, I think. Like, you can drop like anywhere 5 foot, but like, you know, kind of, that is still.
Yeah, fair.
Okay, this warm down here. How fast are they? And how far away are you?
Music.
Hopefully farther than their movement.
Oh, 55? Oh, you guys.
Ooh, damn.
So did they go 50 like this? Oh no, okay, yeah. They do spend their entire turn buzzing over. Buzz, and then buzz over to be on top of Crystal. And so they're all like in your space, like swarming all over you. They haven't had time to bite you, it seems, but that's how this works.
Yeah.
This one, however, a little bit faster. Okay, not fast enough to each with one action though. That'd be crazy. Yeah, seeing that you're like you're dealing with the swarm, it flies over to here, and then it tries to spay you out here with a giant proboscis. What do they call it?
Proboscis.
Proboscis, yeah.
Think.
You try to get out the way.
Absolutely, yeah. Use my reaction.
Absolutely try to get out the way. So your AC is slightly higher.
24. Which ain't great. To be honest.
It still hits you, I'm afraid.
Yep.
For 20 piercing damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one is like like the other one's like Pixel, you can immediately tell already. So like this one is like way scarier. It's like the other ones, they haven't really started biting you, but they just look like normal mosquitoes, a lot of them. And this one is like an actual fucking person-sized mosquito. That is his
Oh,
whole
yeah.
turn though.
I can tell by the big hole in Altair's chest.
Exactly, the big one out there. Your mosquitoes you don't think would do that. Okay, this one, could it reach Johnny? No, this one could not reach in time, so it spent all actions to fly over and kind of be on top of your space, Nate.
Attack of opportunity.
I think, Nate, you can't have your video boarding pike up while piloting the ship, right? Because, like, you need to...
Yeah.
But it is your turn, however.
Don't have it drawn.
I think technically still could punch
With unarmed?
But then he doesn't have reach.
because it's
but-
technically coming
no,
from a
they-
square in his range and moving one more square. Right?
Yeah, no, you have to go completely into it. So that's true. You could try to, like, swipe at them with your hand as they get close, Nate.
Yeah.
Why not?
Good thinking, yeah. I'll do that.
You'll do that.
Oh, baby!
Like slap that mosquito out of the air. Right? I mean, so
You hear
it
him
is-
come and you turn around.
This is like a swarm, so it does seem, to be like, somewhat resistant, but not that much really to your bludgeoning as you like just slam with your hand. So full damage.
Ordinary or critical?
This is critical. This is a critical. They aren't immune to crits. Okay, for 10 damage. Okay, so yeah, so
That's
they
a
seem a
bunch.
little resistant just because, resistance in swarms is just a way to show that there's so many of them, right? So like, but you do smash like your hand through and, a lot of them kind of go, kind of like, get like, fall to the ground dead. And now it's your veal turn.
After Nate, I'll enter.
Oh, after Nate? Okay, but Nate has his
Yeah.
full.
I mean,
I have a hole in
Well-
my chest that says "bro." Just FYI.
by the way, I'd imagine just driving away with the ship wouldn't work here.
No,
By the way,
you
try.
can Nate, no.
And do I have the pink dot over me because you targeted me?
Yeah.
Okay.
You could try. I mean, if you go away, they are flying, so they won't go with the ship. So you, of course, can, try. It depends how fast they are compared to how fast the ship is and so on.
How fast is the ship?
Oh, wait,
Like-
sorry, maybe I missed something, but Nate does start his turn in the swarm?
He's doing that now.
Or is
yeah.
that... Oh,
Wait,
okay.
so what
It's
do you
Nate's
mean?
turn right now.
I thought... I'm not sure how swarms work, but sometimes it's like if they start a turn inside of a swarm, they take automatically damage.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no.
If you start,
Not
Okay.
in this case.
Gotcha.
Okay, yeah, let me check vehicles. So yeah, if you try to I realize this shit, right? Like the way like piloting works, should he only be able to pilot if like you guys are like spending all your actions also to like crew it? I don't know how that works. I don't think so, right? It's just like kind of weird where like in combat you needed to
I think that's the difference, right? It's like the idea of over long sailing, you need
Yeah.
everyone to do the different actions. To do like single maneuvers,
I guess that's also
start.
right.
But if you're
Just-
doing consistent ones, I would probably agree with you that you'd need the crew
Yeah.
because that's the whole idea. Is like if you're going full speed and trying to make turns and things like that, like the crew needs to be involved because you're swinging the mast back and forth. You're trying to rigging.
Also, we
and-
were already moving, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's
so
fine. I don't
ship
think
should kind of be in by default unless we
no,
stop.
no, yeah, true, but he still has his action to attempt to pilot it if he wishes to.
Yeah, I mean, there's like the vehicle moves up twice to its speed in a straight
Oh,
line.
here we go. Vehicle momentum. So if the vehicle moved in a round, you can either choose to stop the vehicle as one action, just like one action it stops in the place, or you can continue to drive it. But if you just kind of let it go on by itself, it basically becomes uncontrolled. And like uncontrolled vehicles are like basically they move up to the mount, but it basically can go like in a straight line. But if there's like coverage or turns or anything, obviously it can be dangerous. Like it basically isn't controlled. So like here you think it'd probably be safe at least for like a little bit, but of course like if the it turns a little bit or so on, there is risk behind it. I mean you basically it's like you're in a car and you're just letting it go.
I guess I'll just try to fight off the thing.
Mhm.
I mean, not sure how.
Okay, this is
Well,
also so either this is a move each round is 10 feet less than the previous round. Okay, cool. it continues to move at the most recent pilot's initiative position, actually. So basically, I'll say at the end of your turn is when it moves, basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
By the way, I also say it says vehicles in combat. Attacks made while on a vehicle that is moved in the last round takes -2
Yeah,
penalty.
they said
You got muted the second half of that.
Oh, attacks made while on a vehicle that is moved within the last round takes a -2 penalty.
Oh, wow. Or a -4 if it's uncontrolled. Holy shit,
Yeah.
okay. You know, I think that probably never matters, but you've always like kind of stopped when you fought before on those. Actually, no,
Yeah.
maybe you haven't. I
No,
mean,
we
I never
haven't.
done the uncontrolled stuff. I'm gonna start doing it right. So technically, right now they are not on the boat, but they're flying, so they're fine. But obviously,
It's on the move.
I mean, that's true,
Well,
right?
Yeah, that's
No,
true.
they
That's
are
true.
not on a vehicle. They're fine.
Yes,
it's
but
like-
that also though means right that if
If the vehicle
that's
moves, they don't move with it.
yeah, and they
Yeah.
don't provoke because it's forced movement.
Yes, when the boat moves,
And-
it doesn't provoke. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but so you know, Nate, that right now it is like moving, so you would be having -2 to attack. Oh, you still crit anyway, so it doesn't matter. But obviously, if you bring the boat to a stop, it's much easier to fight. Otherwise, it moves every round 10 feet less than the round before. So this round it'll move 40 feet.
And
the round
it'll
after
actually-
moves 30
well,
feet, like slow.
That's
but
if
they'll
it's
need to use
uncontrolled,
actions.
right?
What's that?
That's if it's uncontrolled, right?
Yeah, that's the other one.
Which-
He could choose
if
to
it's-
drive it away. Yes.
Well, and if it's uncontrolled, it's -4, not
Yeah, on the
-2.
attack, that's true. And it is all, if you don't use any actions to turn to control it, it'll immediately be like uncontrolled. Yeah.
Oh, so I guess the better thing is for me to first pilot it, so we don't have the penalty.
You so
And then-
even if you pilot it, you still have a -2. If you fight on a moving
Yeah,
boat,
but-
you basically have -2. So you could stop
Yeah,
it
but-
as an action, which then is like nothing.
It's a
Or you
lesser
could-
penalty. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
If
still
you-
less
if you
penalty
pilot
if
it.
you choose to
Yeah.
pilot it. Yeah. It's not
Yeah,
happening.
Yeah,
but
I was gonna say because they're never gonna suffer that. I would say like if we're gonna run, use all your things to try to move us as far away. If we're gonna fight them, stop it because they're not gonna get the same negative
Well, it's
penalties that
still
we will.
well. The thing is, I would say, like, obviously,
Up
this is too much tactical discussion, I think. But I think
It's
if
not
you
first
pilot
time
it for
also
one
really
action, then it's one action for him versus 3 actions for them. You know, it's still a pretty good
Just
action
catch up,
economy.
it's also true. So it's like they
Yeah.
lose actions, but you mind. And I know this is all discussion, but it's also like first time doing VM.
Yeah.
Properly. I also think it's okay.
Yeah. So I'll use, I guess, the drive action.
Okay. With like the one action version, but there is like
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
So you attempt. So give me a law piloting check. And I did upgrade this out in DC 20, DC 19 only. Yeah.
Can I use sailing for this?
Oh, yeah, it is a law saving check. Yeah, that's perfect. Oh, easy success. Yeah. So the boat goes. How fast? Just its current speed, I guess. Right? Is that how it
Yeah,
works?
it's bit.
Yes. So you just make it go like roughly in a straight line. Yeah.
And then I'll draw the bike and use my last action to.
Wait, I gotta move those 50 feet. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
Ah,
They won't be there anymore.
Wait, let me select all you guys. I'll move you, so no one
Okay.
move.
Oh, sorry.
You bastard!
I think I can just do it though.
What the hell? Why did I only move him?
I don't know.
I'm gonna do it.
And it didn't
No,
even
okay,
move.
move yourself 50 feet sideways.
Well, and it's funny because the boat didn't seem to move within the hex very well.
No, the boat doesn't because it's like annoying when the boat is facing this direction. It doesn't fucking line up with the squares. It's
Yeah.
fucking infuriating.
Oh,
I have to
Yeah,
manually do it
well,
every time. There you go, mate. It is still like not properly here, actually, right?
I was here.
Wait a second. No, I changed it. So you're there.
I was
Yes.
here.
Okay, so yeah, you do drive away for one action. You give so you're over here. That is one action, and then you draw your.
Yeah, but now I can't attack them. Then.
No, you can't.
I'm done.
Yeah. Or you,
then I-
if you, depending on what you're gonna do next round, of course, but you can still choose to stop the boat now, or like keep driving, following trains. I don't know. Because if you,
Yeah.
but if you stop, you have to like take control again, right? That's
Yeah,
That's
that-
one
I
action
just realized
more.
that if we're not running though, that's the other thing that makes it difficult. Is we'll never be able to attack.
Yeah.
Depending on how.
Because they're gonna
yeah.
move like they all happen together like in a block. So they move up, attack.
We would have to
and then
delay.
you move us on. So we'd all have to delay till after you to have a chance to, or after they moved and attacked us. But before
Kinda awkward,
you
yeah.
went,
Yeah.
Crazy.
But can I stop the ship with the weapons on?
you probably have to stop then
Grab
draw.
the wheel. Yeah, I would say you stop and then draw. Makes more sense.
Pull the
Yeah,
handbrake.
okay.
It does say
Yeah,
you
yeah, I'll
interact
do that.
vehicles, so I think you do need maybe one hand. You
Yeah.
probably do with like one hand, I would say,
Yeah.
but you need at least one. Okay, so then you kind of stop it. You kind of you
Yeah.
just like throw down the anchor, kind of grates behind it as you like kind of get away, and yeah, then you draw your thing. So it is now steady. Everyone is kind of now got the firm ground underneath you. You'll be like from below. It's like, you know, there's like a screeching halt and all the fans go flying. Okay, then you wanted to re-enter, Johnny?
Yes.
Cool.
So I just realized that Coop might have
Where
the
did it
best
stop
weapon
this
suited for a mosquito fight. Frying pans.
Well, you don't need it. You got needs
The frying pans are like area of effect weapons, right?
Exactly.
I'm gonna move over here.
I guess they are right now. I should give them a little bit of height. Well, no, they're just above the boat. I guess they are like the boat's at 10 feet tall. It says. I guess they're like
yeah,
50
so
feet up.
technically we're all like 10 feet
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
and
yeah.
they're-
Just like so you know they're like a bit
Yeah,
above the water, right?
Yeah, if we're the same.
Yeah.
That doesn't really matter. I will cast slow on the
Oh, okay, okay.
shit.
On
Yeah,
that
yeah.
big shit. The big.
Oh wait, if it gets slow on a big guy, then we run.
Ah, there
No,
we
it's
go.
gonna succeed. There's no way. Well, how's that
No, you
force
won't.
save look?
Crit
Yes.
fail, you mean?
Hopeful.
They fail. That's
Okay.
pretty big. Slowed one
That
for
is
1
huge.
minute.
Let's
That's
go.
pretty insane. Pretty insane.
Yeah.
Maybe
Let's
best
go.
spell in the game.
Maybe best for the game. I
It
mean,
wouldn't-
I would have
when it
5. You know.
Goes off well, yeah.
Couldn't do
Yeah, that's
anything.
my turn.
That's your turn. Pretty good. You have one action, right? Do you want to aid somebody or you just
No,
I
he moved
moved.
up and then did
Moved up. Quick
Moving
step.
slow, yeah, I wasn't.
because you have to be with.
Oh, my gun is only 30 feet, I believe. Let me double check.
You can still shoot it.
Ranging with 20 feet. Oh god, it's
Oh,
so
yeah.
short range. So what if I'm here? Then
That's
it's
not-
one range increment.
More range increment.
Ah, I could get up my. I should always start with getting up both pistols. That's the play right there.
But no, you have a
Um,
melee weapon. What are you talking about?
True. I will. Yeah, I'll join the squad. I'll move here, and I will shoot with my growth gun. What happens if I
Big bada boom.
da-da-da. I'll just do a normal strike for now. So public roll.
Well, that's a solid hit.
Nice big 6.
Big old 6 damage. I
Little
like, it, I
damage.
like it. I like it. I like it.
And then
What
And
type
reload
are you
because
choosing
of-
out interest? By default is like what do you choose by default? It actually matters, but it's like modular, I guess.
oh right. By default it will be piercing, I think.
Yeah, so we'll just say by default that's what you do.
You have to say that it's not.
Yeah, I would have to
Yeah, exactly.
change
you
it
have
up.
to tell me
Yeah.
always.
Makes sense.
Oh, this is actually a question, Ian. I'm not sure about reloading wise, because
Yeah.
my gunslinger way, it means I can. Wait, is this the one? Yeah, the reloading strike means that I can attack with a melee weapon while reloading. Can I choose to use a third action to strike at nothing basically and still use that action to reload while having a weapon equipped? Normally it would mean that my multiple attack penalty goes down anyways. But like, can I
because
do that?
otherwise you can't reload with your hand normally.
Yeah,
That would
exactly.
be- Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. That doesn't make any sense. You can only reload with your hand while attacking, but not normally. No, that doesn't make
Okay, sure. Thank you. Okay,
sense. Yeah, that's
okay.
fine.
So I'll reload.
Yeah, out there.
I will move up to there,
Mm-hmm.
and then I will do a prepared action that if one of them comes into range, I'll attack it.
Nice. One of them indeed comes within range, as this one flies twice to try to like be basically on top of all of you, like inside the swarm. So both Nate and Altair have to work with you, I suppose.
Yep. I'll have him go first because he can do it first. So if he like crits it and he moves it potentially,
Sure. That's just a hit though. Okay, solid damage. It does seem how it's very hard to like stab a swarm of mosquitoes, so it doesn't do as much damage as you would wish. But they still seem pretty heavily injured. You still like stab through, and you I don't know how you would even get more than one with a stab, but you maybe sort of line up and you get like 10 in one stab.
Ha!
Exactly. Oh, they will fly on top of it.
Shish kebab.
Shish kebab. Out in?
Yep.
Oh, that's a crit.
That's a crit.
Nice.
That's just a crit.
For 33.
30 feet. Okay. Yes. Regardless of again how you stab a shish kebab, you somehow stab a shish kebab, and they
I just do
basically
like a whoosh,
exactly.
all of them. Just...
You have like 100 mosquitoes that you can cut over the fire later. It's a really beautiful snack in these parts. And yeah, they just like all the mosquitoes just full kind of dead, like lying onto the ground. Okay. Oh wait, Johnny, I should give you a hit point for the slow. I realized I've already given out to everyone, but Johnny, you can have one for the slow. I'm sure you're gonna need it for this slow.
Most definitely.
This one, it took all your attack with UDs, you fool. It is so mad at you, Johnny, for slowing it. You fucking bastard.
No, John.
Oh shit, I mean, actually, from earlier, when it stabbed you out there, I need a fort save, sorry.
Oh no! It's fine. It's okay.
I don't think it's been that long. I guess you were here that it wouldn't even take effect. No.
Like you're in trouble.
I'm dead because yeah, that's on the upper range of my
Yeah, it's a sort of
abilities. By
crit
the way, that's what's sad. Yeah,
7?
Okay,
Oh, yes,
so yeah, you I mean,
I
you feel,
have no bonus.
you feel fine. It's just a mosquito.
No con.
It's a mosquito.
Yeah, I'm trained only and plus 0 con.
That's really wonderful. But no wonder you're. Oh my god, that HP did a lot of damage to you. I was scared when I did the trade down.
Yeah.
Yes, but
Like,
it's
not an exaggeration to say that's not quite, but close to half my life.
It hits you, Johnny.
No longer is Crixel the weakest member.
You got damage for 19 piercing, and you also give me a fort save.
But Johnny Tank, yes, I'll fuck.
Johnny, pretty tanky.
Fort save.
It then,
It's
however,
greener.
grabs you.
No, it's slowed.
Whoa,
It can't. It's slowed. Move attack.
I was like, you should set 2 actions, and I thought the moving was 1 action. At the beginning of the round, I was even like, okay, so he has 2 actions, he can attack twice, and I just moved him. I was like, wait a second. So it looks like he wants to grab hold of you, but he's very sluggish, and you pull your body out of his way before he can finish the job.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Get out of here.
This one flies over twice.
The 23
then
was
start-
good, whatever.
Whatever you want to think. Moves over and then starts biting you both, Crixel and Nate. Both of you give me reflex saves and you try to like kind of move around and make sure they don't get on too close.
Wait, what does Wax Feathers do? Cassian Helmet or something?
Ooh, okay. Crixel, you are fine. You take no damage, as not even a single mosquito can land on your agile body.
It's the feathers, yeah.
Nate, you take 1 piercing hit damage.
Wow.
Yeah, these are just normal mosquitoes. There's just a lot of them.
No malaria save or something? No?
Yeah, give me a fort save.
Okay. Uh-oh. Might have jinxed you.
These are just normal mosquitoes. Like, you guys acting like this, So, poor guys. It's only the one giant big mosquito.
Because they fucking carry the West Nile virus.
That's true. That part so. But that is their full turn. Nate.
I can just attack the other guy, right?
You attack whoever you wish to attack, friend. And that's slow. It's so sad.
It's
do I get,
great.
do I get some penalty due to the storm being here?
Nope.
If I attack the big one?
Oh, it's fine. They're just like they're like all around, but you can see plenty of the other creature to
Okay, then I'll just
smack it.
yeah.
That's it.
Nice.
Oh yeah, this guy much easier to stab with a pike. Not this much easier to see the big part to go for, but it is much more tough clearly. No,
Oh. By the way, I noticed while we weren't playing, I can basically use them demoralize, right? I don't have to be trained in
no,
anything.
you can use the wallet even when you're untrained. Yeah.
Yeah, but probably dumb to use it on mosquitoes, right? 'Cause,
If you're not speaking the same language as what you're demoralizing,
yeah, of course.
yeah, exactly, they take a large minus. Also, I mean, it's very hard, to be honest, it's kind of hard to succeed if you're not at least trained, because it doesn't like scale very well, right?
Yeah. Okay, I'll use the shove.
Okay. Do the shove, whatever it's called, yeah. I'm afraid he manages to fly out of the way.
But they're flat-footed now, right?
Just to your next attack, yeah.
So
You'll go crazy.
I'll just keep attacking them.
You'll go crazy.
Insane.
Insane.
And the membrane.
Yeah.
No, I like it. It's only a message. Oof, I'm afraid even with it being flat-footed, it's not close to. Yeah,
Not close.
Not that close.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Cool. I understand.
the fast mosquito. Johnny.
I will use my Staff of Water to cast Hydraulic Push.
You're like, get the fuck away from me!
No way.
That's a hit.
Alright.
Let's go. And he gets shoved 5 feet.
Boom, yeah. Moves 5 feet backward and does take you 10 damage as you slam with some water.
Just gotta like move a little back.
Move a little back.
Beautiful.
I like it. Beautiful.
Okay.
Tactical.
Yeah.
Johnny lines him up. I will
Ah,
lower the
yes,
visor
right.
on my helmet. And
Oh,
I'll
you're
lower the
laser.
visor and I'll shoot out a laser in a line.
You shoot a
Fire
laser in a
damage.
line. Oh, it's a line, is it? How does that even work? What is that? It's a line reflex save. Like, what is it?
It's a 15-foot line. Basic
Yeah.
reflex save.
I give you this crazy shit.
Okay.
So it's an
Wait,
AoE.
let me.
You're trying to zap these.
So,
There's no. Is there a thing you can click? No, right? Like if you click, it doesn't give you like an activation ability.
There is on the item.
But yeah, but I don't think it gives him like an actually.
no, I can click the save, but then I'm rolling for the
the item.
save.
No,
so-
no. If you click the item, actually, then I can click the save button. So if you click the item,
Okay.
and then you can click the line
Yeah.
off that, for instance, and you can also click the damage off that and everything.
Yeah, I put on the line, I think.
Yeah, you put down the line. That's fine. I mean, it's easy to find a line to go for both of them. Oh, these guys aren't evil. Don't sad. You don't get that AC. And this habit's busted. What the fuck? You always get a +1 bonuses. Insane.
Yeah, these guys not evil.
Well, it's against evil creature.
They both succeed, however.
Okay.
Still 5 damage.
So 5
Well,
damage.
this guy might be weak to AoE or something. I don't know.
Indeed. This one takes
Probably not to fire. So.
Realistically, they do also have weakness 5 to area damage, so they get number 5. So they are very badly injured now, and this one just takes the normal 5. Cool. 2
Okay.
actions.
And then I will. These mosquitoes did nothing to me last time.
Yeah.
So while they're
cheated.
annoying, I'll focus on the big guy. So I'll just try and shoot on the big mosquito.
It's more of a distraction than anything else from what you get from it.
Yeah, so let me do an action strike. Ooh!
Oh, that's a crit!
That's a crit,
Oh,
baby!
baby.
Oh!
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, crit still
It's
back
beautiful!
again. Yeah, Jesus.
12, 12, 9 on the damage roll. You
That is-
Say bullet, just this like glob of like I don't know whatever it was, like something sharp.
Where
I guess.
once was a giant mosquito, there is now nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Just splats into pieces. Like the kind of bit of flesh like goes into it. It's hard to tell what came from the growth gun and what came from it, as it just like basically blows up in
Bam.
front of you. Like the back of the ship gets like painted with it.
Ooh,
Yeah, it
that felt nice.
That is what a 3d12. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's
okay.
gonna be the highlight for me, boys.
That's
I'm gonna
good
retire.
highlight. Oh, man. Out your turn.
If I go to this, am I technically flanking with Gritzel?
I don't know. Can you
I have no idea. It might be immune to flanking for all I know.
I don't think immune to flanking. I think by war you need to be on like the other
On the
side.
opposite side.
They should. I feel like this one should be immune to flanking though, right? Like it's really weird.
Immune to grapple, prone,
Well,
or
so there might be
restrain.
like general swarm
Yeah.
No, not
right,
the
like-
flanking. But
swarm traits.
It's also immune to grapple, prone, or restrained. No, so they're technically not with you to the prone. I think that if we just do it by war, technically no, it's not flanking.
All right,
Like,
that's fair. Then yeah, I'll attack from there.
Sure.
'Cause it's the
Stab hammer.
same.
line drawing between the center, this place instead of allies must pass through the opposite side, opposite corner.
That's it.
4.
Yep.
Okay.
So they take half. No, they don't take half. They take whole, but they have resistance. Oh, I don't know why they take half.
Yeah.
Then perfectly done. Even with the resistance, it is exact lethal. As you pierce the final fuel, and you're already rapier with many sticking on it, and
Yep.
they cut through. And yeah, excellent work. They are dead at your feet. And yeah, there's just now the normal sound of normal mosquito buzzing around you, and no more giant scary ones.
Well, if that is all the dangers, I am prepared.
Yeah, I sure hope
Yeah.
that thing.
These things are very unpleasant.
Very.
A great shadow.
I do worry. I mean, what? Johnny and I both got a bit stung by that big asshole.
What the best?
I'm
This
just
one-
saying, most things
like-
carry some form of disease around these parts.
This
Cooper
is-
opened the hatch. Is all good up here?
You're
Okay.
safe now.
Oh, great. Kind of leaves the hatch propped open.
Because if there is, by the way, I think I die.
Oh,
Like, I legitimately, I don't know if there's a way around it.
We got antidotes, right?
We do,
Yeah,
but again, it's not a
It's
cure.
like plus
It's like,
2, right?
yeah, and it's
You'll be.
'cause it's. hmm
We find a healer. I'm sure there are healers here in the jungle.
We are not far.
Highly unlikely.
wait,
You-
you
see.
think you got something? Cooper kinda
I
goes,
show like the massive hole in my chest from where it stung me.
Shit. All right. That doesn't look too good.
Nah, the pain will subside. It's fine. It's more worried about. I know that a lot of insects in jungles carry disease.
You are good with knife, Cooper. You also a doctor?
Actually,
Not
no.
as
I mean, I mentioned it, but I can do some amazing
This
things with
is-
some simple foods, but I don't think I can cure diseases.
Don't you have any herbs that would help?
Parsley?
I mean, you might know
delicious.
some.
You know, maybe I could have some kind of magic, though not today. Maybe if I connect with
I mean, we'll see, right? If I do, I'll probably feel way shittier tomorrow.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
sleep it
it's-
off. I'm sure you'll be
we'll,
alright.
we'll see how it goes tomorrow. I'll just preempt,
Yeah.
you know.
The wound is kind of
But first,
oozing.
Wake up vomiting
get
blood.
some. I'm gonna
Some
give
mud.
you DC
Yeah,
20
it's-
medicine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just do one, and then it's like fun. It's healed up. Oh, so easy.
Easy.
I thought we let Cooper fill the holes with onions and such.
Is that on me?
Fine. Don't see young. I don't want to waste your onions on that.
And this is from
I don't even
myself.
know
DC
what.
20.
Oh, you know, Tom, there is a macro out there that automatically rolls like the healing for you and everything. You can just select, like, you collect the macro like the DC 15, DC 20 and stuff, and it takes
You like
into
to
account.
manually-
Like,
Give me that. Where is that?
If you control
Ah.
space and just search for like treat wounds, right? Just
I
like a
think
macro.
so. Yeah.
So what's it called? So just...
Is it even a macro? Is it? It's not like it's the actual treat wounds. No, it is. So if you control space, search for treat wounds, and then the PF2E macro is one. If you search for like
Yeah.
the complete treat wounds thing. You know how?
Or you can go into the compendium.
Yeah, but you can just also search treat wounds
Yeah.
right in control space, and it's one that's like says it from PF2E macros. If you, do you see it, Tom?
Okay, I got a thingy. It says the problem is I don't have healing tools on me,
Oh, we
Fine.
have them on the ship.
which I don't because I.
You don't need them for
We-
sort of large, but I guess you put them on your inventory
Ah.
so it works, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do have them one on the ship.
Yeah, but he doesn't need them. It's just because the macro doesn't work about it.
Right.
But yeah, Cooper's like, yeah, I mean, just drink some strong alcohol tonight. That'll kill whatever's in the body.
Mosquito doesn't taste very nice, does it? Not like
Kinda
to
looks-
find out.
fish.
Kind of peers in the water like the floating one. He's like, I don't know how much of that one's left to eat. I think you could grill those mosquitoes. Kind of points to one on the rapier, but I've never cooked it myself, so I'm not sure.
I wouldn't suggest it.
Not sure
Kills
it's
with
bad.
disease? Maybe not.
We still got some other stuff for now, anyway. Plenty of onions left.
Man,
Yep.
I'm just
Stick an
thinking
onion
if
on the
we're,
wound, see if that helps.
we're from a small town, not very well versed against diseases. We're going into this jungle with like the amazingly deadly diseases. Not a bad
Yep.
combination.
I'll be honest.
Or
It's why,
not.
like, as much as I want to do this because it's the scouting thing, I'm like, this is the easiest way for Altair to die.
A little scary.
Like,
Sure.
that would be quite realistic.
Is because a lot of diseases end up like the one you had, right? Like we'll take that
The
was
zombie
curse
one
or whatever, right? But like,
Yeah, that's
if I had had that, I think I might have died.
I got pretty close. I'm not gonna lie.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe we,
and that's what I'm
maybe-
saying. You were much tankier than me and have a better fort save, right?
Yeah.
I don't.
Well,
What's my plus?
I'm sure
plus
Johnny
two
is
con.
powerful enough to save everyone's life super easily.
That's
Right, Johnny?
fine.
Sure, fucking hope so. We'll find out.
Right, Johnny? Yeah, we'll find out. There's you keep on going. Let's see if we can resolve. Jesus. You keep on going, and like I said, there's many days, weeks, whatever travel with you. I need to on the world map maybe drag on the token. I made like a little token, right? That I could drag on for like the party, didn't I?
Steamboat.
Go to the world
Did I
map, okay.
It's still not working. Even I've given myself healer's tools. It's still not working.
What does it say? You have to select another token to like heal, like target somebody.
No, it still says doesn't have the item.
You need to
ID.
wear them. You need to wear them.
I am.
No, it's
I
just
had it
me
with
not
one of the
wearing them.
macros.
Oh, now it's just wearing them. Yeah, okay.
Well, it's held and worn. Two different things.
Oh,
wasn't
Wait,
it's-
worn.
wait. There's treat wounds action, but there's also treat wounds macro. The treat wounds action doesn't work. Wait,
Use macro is what you use, yeah. It says it's
What
like if you
is
control
the
space and search for treat wounds. If you type like the whole phrase treat wounds, like the
Yeah,
bottom two ones.
it's the white one, like a white
yeah, the
icon
one
or
from the
whatever,
PF2E macro.
with
is
the
the-
three
yeah.
arrows going up.
Huh? I'm not seeing that. I
So
read
okay, maybe go to the companion itself, like go top right
Yeah, I
companion
guess we
packs,
can name it, I don't know.
then at the top,
Let me.
type in treat
put
wounds
a-
there.
I need to put a token on the book on the map so we remember where we are. That one is a little too big.
And that's underneath the macro.
I will make this one a little bit smaller, I think. Even then, it's way too big.
This one.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's fucking the whole map.
No, it's nice.
We made it!
Let's see.
You wanted a bigger boat? All right, get a country. Sail it around the world.
Oh,
It's a country, so that's a continent, yeah.
No, it's pretty small though.
Yeah, mine is like it's
Right.
weird because the outsides of it think it's like
Yeah, it's
fucking
really
massive.
weird. I don't know how to give it. But I think maybe I can fix the outsides of it.
Hmm.
I do. No, I don't think I can.
Yeah, I think you
It works
can
now.
in the settings of
Did
the
you crit fail
token.
on yourself?
Nah,
Yeah.
nah, I'm just telling them. I found the macro. I'm
Oh,
testing the macro.
right, testing the macro. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. Now
I'm
it's,
searching it didn't work, but it works with this.
Oh, there we go. Now that
Yeah,
looks
let's
good, right?
how does it look with a success?
Nice.
It just does. It also rolls the
This-
damage. Which is
This
nice.
little boat, isn't it cute?
Nice.
It's the only way I can stomach being a healer.
Hey, stop moving the boat, stop moving the boat.
Oh, sorry. Wait, we're in the middle of the jungle?
No, you're in the middle, but like I said, you were, a couple of days in like stream to do it past like the Zelda. Wait, in your stream,
I
you're
fell
jungle,
asleep behind the wheel.
I'm here, yeah.
Yeah, that's where it shows we are.
What the fuck? On
Just
mine,
waste
you're in the middle of the
Wait,
jungle.
maybe I'll try and refresh. See if that
Maybe I
works.
should try to refresh.
I don't care enough.
I don't care. Okay, you're
Because
not in the
reloading,
jungle.
reloading
You're not in the jungle.
Takes a
you
while.
are
for whatever
here.
reason takes
You are
forever.
here. Okay, then, yeah, in the next day, you are, maybe out there and, Johnny being a little careful, you make sure you're drinking clean water, you're seeing how it goes. And in the morning, after you travel
I
another
need another
40 miles. No, this is technically how it works, is an onset thing. So in the morning, you just,
I just am something.
you just, yeah, because
You're just dead.
spoilers, the initial save seems to have not gone that well.
Okay.
You are indeed, both you and
Oh no.
Johnny
and
actually
Johnny.
are feeling a little sick.
Okay.
Okay.
You both are sick and one in the morning when you wake up.
We're thick. Second. What is
Okay,
second?
okay.
A little
Second
How do I
awkward
add that again?
spellcasting.
On a character sheet? Without a
t-
token?
without a token, that might not be easy.
I mean, just
Yeah.
go on the other map.
You can just go to the other map, right? That's still active, and you can put
Oh,
on.
that's a good point.
But
Good point.
is there a way to add things from this? No, effects. There's a blank condition one. I don't know how you drag it on. Maybe you need a token.
Yeah, I got it. Second one.
Yeah. So in the morning, when
That's gonna go well.
Cooper is like frying up some, eggs he found a way to make them non-perishable. He's a genius in the kitchen, and he is, and he brings them up, and he's like, oh, how are you feeling today?
Okay, this is not good.
Yeah. I got the. Well, what type of? I'm assuming malaria. Is it?
Yeah, it seems to be
No.
what's the lady like vomiting, like a little shaking, like
Okay.
chills.
Yeah, because there's like typical malaria, and then there's
Oh man, I don't know enough about malaria.
septic malaria and something else. I think I can't remember the other types that are there.
It's
They're all bad, right?
Malaria, malaria. It is
Blah.
crazy shit here. Yeah, you
Yeah.
got you feel very cold. You're like kind of shaking of the chills, and it's like kind of hard for you to stomach anything, and you're like kind of vomiting every so often.
No, it's not
Yeah.
good. You know what? I
Maybe
have
no
prepared-
eggs for you.
I've
Soft
prepared
boiled
this.
is a bad idea. When you get off
Yeah.
too
And we'll have to do checks again.
Maybe we only do
Not the
one,
onset,
'cause
but every
I
other
got
day
to remove
potentially, or is it
disease.
just like?
you got them. Wait, Johnny, you have
I've
something?
prepped to remove diseases.
Okay, I mean throughout the remainder of the day, you still feel pretty bad. So it's
Yeah.
up to you if it.
So
and
you know
then
what?
it is
You know what? I'll do it. You know, if you're not
Yeah.
fighting it, doesn't matter anyways.
and
Even if you
the rest of the travel seems quite easy. It's today it's like a bit narrower the river, so I'm gonna say you get maybe like 35 instead. Some
I
days
mean,
you are a little
I
bit
would
less.
I would mostly just cast this in the morning anyways.
Oh, you would. Okay, so even like
Yeah,
you feel
just- if
sick
we're
for, like
both
an
feeling
hour.
We're
bad,
both
yeah.
waking
It's
up
good.
feeling
We're
sick. We
just
both
getting
know
this.
the same thing happens
Preventatives.
to us. Yeah.
Exactly.
Preventatives.
Okay, you don't want it to stay with you, so you want to be
No.
like just
Yes.
like
Just
I
if
will
we're
feel
gonna
good
fight.
for the rest of the day.
Yes, if we're not fighting, it's better to not
That's
be
true.
sick and
That's
shit.
true. That's
You need
true.
to counteract it.
You do.
Yes,
It isn't
yes,
as simple as
yes.
it's going up. It is a counteraction check indeed.
Indeed.
And then
Click the counteract button.
But it's
you got
against
This is
mosquito, like how
after
often
all
can
the
it
year first.
It's level.
Can I
What level
reroll
is this? This level 3 spell.
I did. I think it's hit. You can roll it.
Counteract.
I don't see it, so I'm guessing it.
You
will
don't
be
see
hit.
it.
No.
Yeah, I
be?
did.
I see it.
What?
Yeah, everyone else sees it.
That's why I'm
Wait,
asking if I
what
can
if it's a
roll.
success? Yeah, we see a 19.
Oh, what? I don't see it. What the fuck?
Oh.
It is a 19. Do you wish to keep it, Tom? It is a 19.
I'll re-roll the 19. Why can't I? What the fuck?
Yeah, the natural
So
8.
failure is less. Okay, so failure is less than 3, and a success is 4. That's okay. So less than 3, so 2 or 1. Yeah. Okay. Hmm. Oh, I was just checking what the success and fail is. So if you fail,
Oh,
so
yeah.
you basically only get it if it's a level 2 or 1, and if it's
Yeah,
a success, it's 0 or 4.
Very fucking. This is very annoying. The contracting. But yeah, I'll re-roll this one.
Okay, you'll be able to.
Maybe hopefully I see this next one.
better. 21.
21.
Okay, I'm gonna refresh it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
21. Okay, who was this on?
Out there.
Okay, so out there, Johnny spends a good, 10 minutes casting spell, invoking devices of nature. But I'm afraid at the end, you still feel sick.
Shit.
Yeah.
Indeed, the magic doesn't seem to be keen to heal out there at that moment.
Okay, maybe it'll work better for me, and I can do you tomorrow.
Vision.
Maybe it gets better, Tony. Maybe time fixes all wounds.
Yeah, maybe I
Not
just.
good.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
do this. We'll do this on myself now.
You do this on yourself, sure.
Like. Now I see it. What the oh my god.
Well,
We're
both-
I can use a hero point.
You could,
could.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
might as
well.
well.
Might as well.
Might as well.
Roll, keep the new result. I mean, the rolls have been pretty garbo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah,
I think.
after you feel that you're worried that the venom or the poison or disease is still not really leaving your bloodstream, but you do an extra big prayer to God's way that please, I don't want to fucking die in this goddamn swamp on the first day. And he hears your prayers, and indeed you get a little bit of extra boost from him, and you successfully remove your disease, and you can remove your sickened condition.
Okay, nice.
Indeed.
Nice.
Out there, you look on jealously as he starts eating
Oh
eggs
yeah,
for breakfast.
most definitely.
Well, I don't know. Magic works in mysterious ways. If you're not fine by tomorrow, we'll try. Again.
Oh, I won't be, but we can try again tomorrow.
I'll join
I'm pretty sure it's a
Altair.
nat
Bro.
20 or literally nothing for me.
I don't think
Oh, but he means he'll
I'll
remove
be
disease you tomorrow, Yeah.
Right.
At least it doesn't
I'll
have
join
the-
Altair in solidarity, but not eating breakfast.
You can
Considering
exactly.
Cooper.
fine. You just cut out half his sentence.
Yeah, you can.
Oh my god! It's weird. Discord's doing
Like
something.
you have a noise
Because
gate.
It's Discord, yeah.
You just get too quiet at some points.
no, well, OBS is picking up everything. I don't know, but I'll join Altair in not eating breakfast.
Whoa.
No.
Okay.
I tell you, eat, please. Don't join me in
Well,
this.
it is. They are eggs. It's in bad taste.
Oh. It's a little like, oh shit. So you don't want to have that cake I made for lunch?
Have the damn cake.
As long as you don't tell me, it's fine.
Oh. Yeah, nothing in the cake. He's like, alright, no eggs for breakfast, I understand. Oh, oh, don't tell him how you make cake. Right, so yeah, he takes a mental note, no, less eggs, more cake.
It's gonna rock his world when he finds
It's
out.
all- you don't
Waffles,
wanna know how much
pancakes,
stuff
whatever,
is in
it's all
it, you know,
good.
exactly right.
Yeah.
As long as you just cover that egg up.
As long as it's not a physical shell, it's all.
Crumbles. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, then I guess.
I was gonna say, can I look up which type of malaria it is?
No,
No. Okay.
you can't. Afterwards.
Fair. I'm just wondering because I think they have specific symptoms with the different types.
But I don't think
Find
this is like
out.
a real. I don't think this is a real.
Well, like if you read like the name, right? Like because I know there's the septic malaria one. That one basically means you're shitting yourself.
Well, maybe you're
It's
shitting
septic.
yourself. Then. Maybe you're shitting yourself. I don't know. Like, a real maybe it's not very nice. Yeah. It seems pretty serious.
Nothing can come in, but plenty of stuff can come out.
I think it's stuff come out. You want to,
I think by rule you just get both. You can't consume things and. Well, that's interesting. Can you not ingest anything when you're sickened?
Yeah.
You can't. So the way,
Including
no. So the way I've read
anti-venom?
this actually. So
Or-
the way it works is in combat, it basically says it's too difficult to like do it quickly. But you basically force
Okay.
something down yourself as like a more downtime activity. So like
Gotcha,
that's
gotcha.
why you can
Makes
still
sense.
drink and eat,
Yeah.
but it's just like fucking hard work to do it. Like it's
Yeah.
not like you have to like.
Yeah, it's
you know,
like
basically-
when you're sick, eating can be difficult, right?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. It's really hard.
Takes
You have
like
to do it
2
very
times as long.
slowly.
Yeah, I was just thinking like
Yeah.
if like by rule you literally couldn't because I was like, what's
Yeah.
the fucking point of like
Exactly,
these
exactly.
venoms, like anti-venoms and shit?
It's more that you can't choke healing potion in a fight if you're sick. And that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
that makes a lot more sense.
Okay,
Alrighty.
so I guess you spend a day where like everyone is, fretting over out a little bit.
No, I don't let people fret
No,
over
you don't
me.
let
I'm
people
like,
do that.
no.
Brave. Everyone's saying doing the last rites.
I have
Like,
full
he
faith
was
in
such-
him. He'll be fine. He'll be full faith.
Yeah, I just have everyone like, just do you're gonna have to carry extra weight when it comes to steering and working the ship. I'm not gonna be able to pull my weight. Not that I normally do anyway. I'm like a weirdo, but
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
Like you can pull much.
I'm
It's,
happily stirring this shit.
Okay, and then the next day begins. As you're going through the jungle. By the way, like there is, loud. There's like wildlife. Every so often you see like monkeys kind of go above on trees above you and everything.
I
There
shoot
was this
all of them.
wow, oh my god, they're so angry, so angry. There is. I wanted to see this. I found. The annoying thing about looking through the wiki so much is you go on like random pages, random art, and you're like, "Oh, this looks cool," and then I can never find it in the future. But there were these cool fucking guys who were
Look
like,
at your bookmarks. I have a massive D&D
do
bookmark.
you know how many
folder.
fucking of these shit I do? Like how many of these goddamn what's it called?
just download the
Pages
image
I'm on.
immediately.
That is really true. But I go on like my phone when I go on and stuff and everything like that. But I remembered that was. But I wanted to find it because it was so cool. It was so cool.
Maybe we encounter them next session.
No. It's nothing you encounter. All right,
Oh.
fine. It's like these cool little like flying sea monkey things. It's like colorful. I'll find a picture of them for next session. But they like they're quite playful. They kind of go around the boat and kind of like you want to like play like games, like kind of mess around with your rope and stuff like that, depending on like how mean you are with scaring them off and the like.
Play in an animalistic way or like.
Animalistic way, yes. Like I guess like monkey animalistic intelligence.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
sure, but still like
Malaria?
monkeys, not just. Yeah.
What's that?
Can they cure malaria?
If you ask them, they do not seem to respond. They kind of just like cock their head, like kind of like a what's called like animal sort of, like kind of curious way. But I'm afraid they do not seem to carry any malaria curing pills with them. And speaking of which, at the beginning of the next day, give me a fortitude save.
Me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I will.
You-
I'm going
You
to
got
take
this.
one of our lesser antidotes.
Yeah, sure. You take that at some point, probably during the night, where it's like at its worst, and it like lasts.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna add it to my
Oh,
sheet
wow.
real quickly from just remove one move items from boat. Then I can click on this and effect antidote lesser. How do I do this? I don't know. So is this +2? But
It's
to
plus two.
make it-
Okay, cool.
Yeah, +2.
It might
in case
it might have an
messes.
effect on you now. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Let's see it.
Nah,
Eee.
nah, bro, nah.
A 9, huh?
I'm gonna re-roll that, by the way. I
Okay.
do want to. and
Alright.
I'm pretty sure I'm
Maybe
gonna get closer to being dead if I don't. So,
Hey.
imagine stage 3
Yeah.
death.
well, which is technically a 25 because the +2.
This is technically a 25, thanks to the +2.
Yeah.
Okay, then in the morning, actually, maybe it is the anti-plague. Maybe it's just a night's rest and the prayers of Johnny the night before. But when you wake up in the morning, it seems that the worst of it has died down. And you obviously don't feel great, but you can at least remove the sick condition. You're very weak, probably just from the lack of food,
Yeah.
but you are
Hey.
like mechanically fine.
Did I beat a disease on my fucking own?
I mean,
Yeah.
you took the
Yeah,
anti-plague.
fine.
Yeah.
The
I'm just
anti-plague
saying.
helped.
I didn't know if that was actually possible.
No, good call with the anti-plague. That really
That
helped.
made
I mean,
the difference. Yeah.
good call with the real. I don't know. What's stage 3? That's not dead. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. So neat.
What
She
would
shed
stage
even more.
3 have been?
Stage 3 you only drained 1 and 2. Actually, it's not so bad.
Okay.
It's not bad.
But still, drained and sick and stacked.
The
Right?
drain's
Your
pretty
rolls would be
bad.
-2.
Drain's pretty. No, they're both status, so it doesn't
Doesn't
stack
it?
this. No, no, status. They're both status. Man, stage
Okay.
5 though dead. Monka, don't could fail
Oh.
fights.
Yeah, and stage 4 would have been. I would have been an uncooperative. Unconscious. Apparently. Nice.
Uncle.
Yeah, but luckily
Uncooperative.
enough that it seems that the anti-plague was a good purchase.
Yeah,
We
not
don't need.
anti-plague, or antidote.
No, I think it's anti-plague. Antidotes, I think, are poison. Antidote plague's a disease one.
Yeah,
I think-
anti-play sounds
Oh,
right.
Uh-oh.
No, we did have we did them all because I knew
Okay.
specifically
You would
disease.
know
meant
that
I
this is,
wanna want
this is an anti-plague you need.
anti-plague. Okay.
So remove
mean,
the
it's-
anti-plague from the sheet or whatever.
Add the wrong because I would have done specifically disease.
Monka?
More than
Okay. Then alright. Then
I'm gonna check the price to make sure they're the same because if they're not, then we're fucked. But they are, so yeah, I'll
yeah.
change it to anti-plague. Cool, it's
Sure.
there because I added the wrong one.
I believe you. I believe
Because we already had an anti-venom, which kind of does the same.
anti-venom. Yes, something with anti.
Yeah, we did get an
Yeah,
anti-venom.
you-
Because that
yeah,
one
I mean,
removes any
I mean,
active
when you were
poison.
talking about it, you were all
Yeah.
about like this body of the disease. So I believe it. It's tricky names, you know.
Cool, yeah.
Two names
yeah,
damn
you,
So
whatever.
yeah,
yes, thanks to your foresight, you were
and that's
able
definitely learn this early enough, so don't prep to move the
exactly in the morning. Yeah, you were kind of keeping a close eye on him to
Yeah,
see if he
exactly.
needed a pray, Gosray, Johnny, and instead you believe that obviously thanks to Gosray's power over nature, he has a yield out here for you.
Nice.
And as you wake up on a wheel day to 6 Kusona,
Oh,
let's
yeah.
I think stop there for the
Yeah.
session. And I believe
Alright.
this is a good time for you guys to level up to 6.
We're gonna need it,
You
lads.
said the magic
Yeah.
Yeah,
word.
you're gonna need it.
Said the magic
I was like, I
word.
gotta level you up. These things are way stronger than what you are. Yeah.
Um,
I remember
Ooh,
this
level
is a really
6
good level
pretty
for a
big.
rogue. I can't
Then you
remember.
become a beast gunner now, right? It's crazy.
Yeah, I can actually get a free archetype. Woo.
Oh yeah.
ba-da-da.
I cannot.
What do I
Soon
get
you'll
for
be
level
doing this.
6?
Well, yeah, we're on the mission for you, my boy.
We're trying. Your mission is so long. Got scouts so
Yeah,
much.
Seriously.
you're gonna get
I mean,
all the scout beats like
I
at the
really
same
like,
time.
I mean, I'm not gonna do it, change it, but I really should have given you scout for like the first quest you ever did, where you like scouted up the looted folk camp.
Yeah. I would like that.
I think maybe. I mean, this would make sense for scout to like he gets some training in it, but during it, right? Like if it's so long.
Well, the way I
Yes.
do it is when you if you unlock it, you get like retroactively all your feats, if that's what you
Yeah, true, but I thought maybe like because now if the mission's gonna take months and presumably a lot of sessions,
Oh, you
then
mean you
maybe
get
like
scout?
during
Oh, okay, like get access for being on it.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like partway through, you get the first, and then
You know
by the
what?
end, you can get the
That's
others.
fair. That's fair. Tell you what, I'll
Maybe consider
when
it.
you make it, it'll be soon. When you make it past the Lake of Vanished Armies, and you're like really like exploring the new stuff about Norfair, then I'll give you Scout. You're right. I think that's fair. That's a good
Nice.
call, Jacko.
I like it.
You are
Cool, cool,
scouting.
cool.
That shows you should be learning it as you go. Great. Okay.
Nice.
Good stuff then, everyone. And I don't know, trip driver for Nate. We'll find our way to shoehorn that in at some point. Maybe
Keep having ship
I
comments.
can already think of ways where I can find crazy boat racing there's ways. Cool. Okay then, everyone. I guess have a good week, and I will
Yeah.
see you on the
Thanks, guys.
50. Peace.
Later.
Such.
Yeah,
Bye.
that's. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.